Hello and welcome in here on Mixler.com and YouTube Live for the first game of the Elmira Pioneers season. I'm John Clement alongside my good friend George Stockberger. George, thank you so much for joining me.
Again, fantastic to be here once again after a nice long Enforcer season. Hopefully a long season here with the Pioneers and beautiful Dunfield. My first time being here and quite a view.
Well, there's something spectacular about Dunfield. The history here, baseball's in Elmira since 1888, and I'll tell you what, the atmosphere here at Dunfield here, it's one of those stadiums that there's so much history to. When you think about the past, you think about old Yankee Stadium, the old Philly ballpark for you, I'm sure.
Yep.
And it's just one of those things that you feel the ghosts of the past as you walk through the gates, if I'm not mistaken.
No, you're absolutely correct. I mean, again, it's a beautiful field. Again, the first time I've ever been here. I talk about coming up into the booth. It feels like Nationals Park because we are literally at the very top of the stadium. We are on the roof of the stadium, and you get a fantastic view, and you saw the seats, again, the older seats. And again, you talk about the ghost of baseball past, but have been on this field, and it's really, again, it feels weird. It feels pretty cool, too.
It's definitely special. And these kids, we had our first Feral Gas Friday today, had Mason Ruhlman actually joined me. He was on the team last year, made the final out. He had calmly admitted it was a strikeout against the same Geneva team. So there's definitely a little bit in him for sure that's going to want to get the victory here tonight. But also for these Pioneers, it's the first game of a lot of them coming together. These collegiate baseball summer leagues are a different sort of animal, George.
Absolutely. As a couple of these guys have played together. We look at, we talk about a couple guys from Kentucky are going to be coming here. And again, we kind of saw the same thing with the Enforcers where with them, it was a brand new team, a brand new league coming into a building that would, the team has been here for a while, the field has been here for a while, but some of these guys have just met each other. And we were talking before, some of these guys are still coming in, adding to the roster, and later in the year, we might get a couple more guys. You never know. So again, it's going to be a little bit different for some of these guys having played, you think about the Perfect Game League and you talk about playing in college. They grew up with a lot of those guys, and now it's a much different atmosphere in the city that a lot of these guys, with the exception for a couple of them, have never been here before.
Well, you bring up the exception of a couple of them. 3 returners, Chase Austin, Mason Ruhlman, and Trevor Henneman, all come back to Dunfield tonight. They were major parts of last year's playoff push. And, you wonder Summer Collegiate League and the oddity of it. If that provides a spark, if it provides the veteran leadership to be able to push a team, especially, a team like the Pioneers, who we're all watching and hoping that that's the case, to be able to get themselves into a postseason position.
Yeah, again, it would be a great thing to see for Elmira. We talked about, again, I don't want to harp too much on the Enforcers. That season was fantastic, but you talk about having veteran leadership like Anam and Mafus, and again, bringing all these new guys together. Hopefully those 3 guys, again, having known each other already, who know the area. We have a couple local guys playing here as well. That should be a great thing to get the season underway.
Well, you talk about guys, local guys here from the Twin Tiers. Again, I mentioned Chase Austin. He's a returner. He's also a local homegrown player. Alex Bardo, Ben Terwilliger, Stephen Rossi. Now, the 3 of them, Bardo, Terwilliger, Stephen Rossi, just 2 short years ago, played here at Dunfield in a championship game against each other. So, you think about the history of Dunfield and you think about the history that these kids have had and been through. These are going to be extraordinary times for them this summer, and we sure hope it'll be an extraordinary time for Elmira.
Absolutely. I mean, some of these guys you talk about growing up and coming to see a Pioneers game, or maybe even playing when they were younger. You look at a guy like Alex Bardo, played for Corning CPP High School. So again, some of these guys have grown up in the stadium, and it's got to be pretty cool for them to know that they're taking the same field and playing in the same arenas. We talk about guys like Babe Ruth and Joe DiMaggio and Lou Pinella.
Lou Piniella, yeah, that's an interesting one. How about Kurt Schilling? I figured
There you
you'd want to
go.
throw that one out there.
I didn't know about Schilling. That's a
Kurt
cool one.
Schilling, yeah, you can find the baseball card, him in an Elmira Pioneers uniform,
Ooh.
still out there. Now, that being said, it's time to focus on what's happening today. Opening day starter Noah Rubino. What a high school career he had. Going into college, of course, especially when you think about going into these schools, these D1 schools like these kids go into. I'm talking about a guy who went up and is now pitching at Siena. That's not exactly, I'm going to walk in and be big man on campus, but the number of accolades from high school, I mean, it's just unnatural.
I mean, this guy, he tossed 3 no-hitters and had a 0.7 ERA in high school. That's fantastic. Throws 86 on the fastball. All SCC selection, a perfect game all-star, playing in Connecticut. I mean, this guy just has a lot of great stuff. Curveball sits in the high 60s, so a little bit slower on the curveball there. And then a changeup in the low 70s, again, to pair with that fastball, but sits in the low to mid 80s.
But you talk about that curveball, and I'll tell you what, I've always been a little bit skeptical on the curve. When you look at it and it takes a dive the way that it does, if it's coming at you at 80, 90 miles an hour, the way that you see it in the major leagues, I'm not seeing the difference. You're throwing a fastball in the 80s and then a curveball that cuts at 60. To me, that makes it a better pitch.
Absolutely. I mean, you're talking about changing speeds. As long as the arm slot is the same, that's all that matters. Where you're trying to hide what kind of pitch you're throwing. Again, that's a major difference when you're talking about 20 miles an hour on a pitch. Again, if he gets the fastball up into the mid to high 80s there, again, it's a big difference. And, you might see low 12-6 here.
For sure. We'll have to see what Noah Rubino and the Elmira Pioneers starting lineup can do. They'll be introduced shortly. However, that being said, you got to turn over and look at a team that went to the semifinals last year. They ousted the Pioneers. They put them out in a one-game playoff on August the 1st. But the Geneva Red Wings, new logo and all, made it down here to Dunn Field. And I'll tell you what, they played a very, very good season last year before losing to Jamestown in the semifinals, excuse me. And they're starting this season on a one-game road trip before opening up at home. So there's got to be a little bit of pressure to go home with a 1-0 record.
Absolutely. Again, I mean, taking a road trip, we talk about those bus rides that you got to take when you're playing in leagues like this. Again, the guys who are on the Pioneers got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder to beat these guys after what happened last year.
For sure. And of course, these teams will play each other 12 times. So a little similar to the FHL schedule, if you will. But the 12 times these guys are going to face each other, it all starts tonight. And right now is really when we're going to get our first look at the Elmira Pioneers. You can watch batting practice. You can watch the pitchers and catchers reporting and throwing and catching. But I'll tell you what, you don't see what a team is actually made of till you get that first game underway.
No, and again, with the exception of a couple of these guys, people in this town have never heard of the majority of this roster. So there are going to be kids that got to find their favorite player who's come from, Kentucky or Old Dominion or somewhere else, or even internationally. They have a Canadian on the team, which is a little bit interesting. They got a couple Canadians. So again, I don't want to harp on the enforcers, but you talk about a couple of those kids who say that their favorite hockey player of all time is Ahmed Mapoose or someone like that. That's going to happen with a couple of these guys who are playing here at Dunn Field.
And, I got to say, I was talking to Mason Ruhlman a little bit earlier today when we did our Feral Gas Friday. He talked about that experience and what a difference that is for a team in this league to see, hey, you made a great play. Now this little kid's here asking for your autograph. And it is a different style. And I watched the visiting team Geneva come in today. They were asking about this ballpark. I heard one of them say, this is like the pros. And so it's clearly a different style. Obviously, my first game here in the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League, but clearly something a little different for everybody to enjoy. And hopefully we'll get to do a lot of that here tonight.
Absolutely.
Before we get too much further into the broadcast here tonight, I want to remind everybody that the pregame is brought to you by Miller's Mowing. If your field isn't game day ready, call Miller's Mowing at 607-302-8826 and get your field in game day condition. We're going to send it down to Coach's Corner. Coach's Corner is back, and tonight we're going to talk with assistant coach Andrew Drum, who will be taking the reins tonight. We'll take it down there and be back with more on the Miller's Mowing pregame show. assistant coach Andrew Drum, letting us know about everything going on here before the Pioneer season gets started. And I'll tell you what, it's an exciting time to be a Pioneers fan as the season's about to get going. A lot of fun coming up this year. Want to remind everybody, too, if you are having some trouble listening into the broadcast, make sure you tune in live from the ElmiraPioneers.com. We've got our Mixler feed right there on the live broadcast, right on the front page of the website. For all of you tuning in on YouTube.com, we want to thank you all for joining us and getting a live shot of the game from up here in the press box. And as George, you mentioned earlier, not a bad view.
No, you got the Chemung River right there, and I believe there's fireworks, as Robbie said earlier today.
Oh, there's definitely going to be some fireworks, and hopefully the fireworks won't just come after the game. We're certainly hoping to see some Pioneers fireworks tonight as they look to get their first W of the 2019 season. You're seeing Andrew Drum heading towards the plate right now from the Pioneers dugout on the right-hand side. He will be meeting up with the manager for the Geneva Red Wings, who, again, recently changed their logo from the Detroit Red Wings looking logo that you will see on their jerseys here tonight to the one you may have seen on the PGCBL.com. Not a bad-looking new logo. I got to give it to him there, though, George. Pretty sharp with the would say that's a raven batting. That's a pretty sweet looking logo. So a lot of credit to Geneva for stepping out of the traditional name and logo appearance that you see home plate. And here are the ground rules, which for those of you unaware and unfamiliar with Dunn Field, 325 down each foul line. Pretty intense foul line for a collegiate summer league, George.
I guess that's almost major league for a couple of them.
Well, I think if you're batting at Shea or Yankee, that is actually. I think Yankee used to be 315, if memory serves, but now I do believe it hits the 325 mark. So these guys will definitely be ready to play Major League Ball after this summer. The umpires still telling the coaching staffs here tonight. We do want to take just a moment and recognize that manager Matt Birch is not here in uniform for the Pioneers tonight. He had a prior commitment as his team, his high school team is coaching, is playing the championship game right here in Elmira tonight. So good luck to Coach Birch, and we hope he's certainly finding success down there, and hopefully all will be good. As assistant coach Andrew Drum is now looking to be taking over the ground rule explanation from the umpires, so letting everybody know how to play here at historic Dunn Field. And George, we talked a lot about it back in the FHL season, but we're both relatively new here. So upon your first visit here to Dunn Field, what is it that sticks out to you?
The seats stuck out to me. Again, it's the old style seats when you're coming up. Again, looking out from here, again, we're very high up. So you see the Chemung River out there with the walkway for people to go out. I don't know, maybe catch a baseball if you're all the way out there and a home run comes out. But again, it's the seats are what stuck out to me. Again, an older style stadium, and they've stayed true to that.
Well, I actually found out something very interesting just this week. When you come into Dunn Field, you may notice the front row, the so-called VIP seating, is actually red, which is suited with the Pioneers colors. Those are actually from Busch Stadium, believe it or not. Those are the original seats from Busch Stadium. That if you look and you find the tag, you can look up where exactly that seat sat in Busch Stadium. So it's kind of a fun little piece of information if you want to take a few minutes and check your seats if you get a chance to sit in one of those great VIP sections. And I got to tell you, those VIP sections, waitress brings you your food. You don't even have to get up. That's got to be a fun night at the
Major
ballpark
League too.
That's Major League right here. And we're not talking about the movie, folks.
No, I was waiting for that. I'm going to be a lot better at the baseball movie references than the hockey references.
Well, there we go. Good to know.
There we go.
As we're looking out towards the outfield fence, I think we might know a couple people out there. I do think we're going to see a best baseball mascot in the world going to make his way out here.
That's a bold statement.
It is, but you know what? We believe it. As the gates open up and we look towards center field, I believe that's our good friend Crispy Bacon out there getting ready to welcome in whatever is coming. Try to readjust so everybody can see what's coming up out there, as we have had a heck of a time this year getting everything ready and making it beautiful here at Dunn Field yet again. And I'll tell you what, the crew and the staff that have done all the work here have been absolutely phenomenal. Robbie and Nellie Nichols really, well, I hate to use a pun so early in the broadcast, but hitting a home run once again as you look around this historic Dunn Field and the beauty and majesty that comes into this stadium. As we look around, the outfield wall covered here pretty well by signage. And always nice to see the community support. And I'll tell you what, there's nothing more to show appreciation than to support your local baseball team. And we can't thank all of you guys enough. But a huge thank you, especially, I want to throw out to Miller's Mowing. If your field isn't game day ready, call Miller's Mowing 607-302-8826. Miller's Mowing pregame show continues on here. I'm John Clement alongside George Stockberger. And George, you've been a Phillies fan. I've watched you watching the Phillies over and over again. As you look here and start thinking about the days of tomorrow, these guys are MLB in the next step. Lots of these guys have gone up. We've seen the players that have come through this organization, and to get the chance to see them play at this level and know that they could one day possibly wear a Phillies uniform, that has to be kind of exciting.
Absolutely. Again, I've done some minor league baseball before, some college, all the way back there. High schools have some major league connections that I'll probably hit on a little bit later. I love doing all that research, figuring out all the baseball high school references. But again, all these guys will have an opportunity, and it's kind of cool to say, you saw this guy win,
And I'll tell you what, these guys, they come out and they play their hearts out. As now the Elmira Pioneers take the field. So a little chance to see
We saw
very little bit of the Elmira Pioneers. I do apologize for the camera angling, folks. But
we saw a lot of them during the Enforcers season.
We certainly did. And we'll have to see how much more we see of them right now as we're hearing some music. I think they might actually get the chance to dance here tonight. Let's see if we can get you a little better angle for all of you watching there on YouTube. There we go. As you get a chance to see the Elmira Pioneers. And now they ask you to take a look towards center field. We'll take a quick pan up there.
I recognize one of those guys.
As here comes Stitches and Grandpa Stitches, according to the announcement as well. And look at that, George.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to see the Enforcers police car alongside Captain K9? What a beauty. Get you a good look at that out there, folks. There's Grandpa Stitches and Stitches alongside Stepan Timofeyev.
Ooh.
And rolling along, too, that Enforcers police car. What a beauty. We hope you all had a chance to see it out at the Memorial Day Parade just a little bit ago. And as we come back into the wide pan shot, we'll look back down at the Pioneers. As now I'm thinking we are getting set for the introduction of the opening rosters and getting everything going here at historic Dunn Field. So, George, actually Stepan Timofeyev driving that ATV vehicle. I didn't notice that until just now. Interesting looking jersey there.
Yeah.
As once again, getting the chance to make their way back out here at Dunn Field. The Enforcer season may be over, but they are certainly not forgotten here in Elmira.
Well, it's hard to forget them after a fantastic season, going to the Commissioner's Cup Finals.
And of course, you're sure that the Elmira Pioneers looking to replicate the success as once again, here comes the Pioneers as they will take the field for the very first time. As the starting pitcher tonight heads out to the mound, there's Noah Rubino. And I'll tell you what, George, we talked a lot about his high school accolades, and you get a chance to watch him pitch for the first time here. He had some chances to pitch here before the season got underway back at college, and he made an impact for sure. But, the numbers are always a little bit skewed when you go in, especially as a freshman. You don't see the optimal situation.
204. We're talking about the live fastball hitting around 86 and again the curveball being at high 60s. So, again, nice little change in velocity he's going to bring tonight.
For sure. And as the Enforcers heading out to the chalked out line, one assumes that they're introducing the rest of the roster here, and then they'll there's some starters coming out too. So an interesting introduction here as the Elmira Pioneers getting their first call out to the field as the field at Dunfield starting to get a little bit darker. And that's the one nice thing you like. The night games during the summer, nothing quite says summer like nighttime baseball, George.
No, and again, you think about old-time Wrigley having to play all the time during the day, but again, nighttime baseball, like you said, it's fantastic. It's a nice kind of wind down to your day, get to sit back and enjoy a beautiful stadium and hopefully some great baseball.
And I'll tell you, the one thing you could definitely notice as you walk into the park tonight, the smell. There's something about those hot dogs and popcorn down there at the concession stand. They definitely give you a feeling of being at the ballpark.
Absolutely. One of my friends is the play-by-play guy for the Stallions. He'll be here in a couple of weeks. He said that Dunfield has the best popcorn he's ever had.
Well, in the league, that's a high praise there. Now, of course, a lot of stuff coming up. The baseball season kicks off, and it doesn't exactly slow down, George, as we've got games pretty much every day rolling through the season. You look at the Pioneer schedule, and it just rolls. Coming back again tomorrow at 7:05 here at Dunfield, rolling on the road on Sunday out to Newark, on Monday out to Adirondack, on Tuesday out at the same Geneva Red Wings, and then back home for a Wednesday, Friday, Saturday series against Saugerties, who you mentioned, Watertown, and Newark. So a lot of chances to see your Elmira Pioneers here over the next little bit.
That's one thing about baseball. You talk about being fortunate only playing on the weekends. You get an opportunity to come out almost every day, enjoy the Pioneers.
Well, that being said, we're going to step aside for a quick break, and we'll be right back with Pioneers baseball. So one last time, we want to thank Miller's Mowing for our pregame show here. If your field isn't game day ready, call Miller's Mowing, 607-302-8826, and keep your lawn in game day shape. As I look down, Stepan Timofeyev heading out of the police car, I believe he's going to throw the ceremonial first pitch. If I'm not mistaken here, George, it's honor long reserved for special celebrities at the ballpark. And Stepan Timofeyev, the former Elmira Enforcers leading scorer for a good portion of the year, certainly fits that qualification.
Absolutely. We'll see. He played with a lot of speed. Let's see if he's throwing the heat tonight.
As now, once again, Pioneers getting themselves stretched out. So they're apparently ready to go right into the game. The Timofeyev is playing with the ball down there, so we should see him get to throw the ceremonial first pitch in a moment. After all of you who may have seen him back at the parade this weekend, K9 looked a little shorter, got out the stretching poles, and certainly looking a little bit bigger on this occasion. So as Rubino taking the practice throws here, he is certainly looking to be bringing some speed, George.
Absolutely. Again, scouting report on him, 80 to 86 on the fastball, but curveball, we talked about him, a high 60s, 67 to 68, changeup, low 70s, 72, 73, majoring in business or finance. He plans to become an investment banker after he's done with Siena.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's not a bad spot to train in for your either investment banking or your professional baseball career. And we'd like to welcome back all of our great listeners on Mixler.com as the first batter of the night coming up to take his cuts. And this one, of course, on the other side is going to be Brainy Rojas. So as the game gets set to get started here, George, Brainy Rojas going to see what he has to bring to the table. First look at this team from Geneva, as now everything's starting to settle in. And again, Brainy Rojas from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. He's an East Stroudsburg University player.
Not too far.
So Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, not too far away, home of the Rail Riders during the baseball seasons. Yankees AAA affiliate down there.
Oh.
As now the umpire having a conversation with
Timo's got to get
catcher
off the
Henneman.
field.
As the enforcers finally making their way off the field along with Stitches and Grandpa Stitches. Grandpa Stitches, the original Stitches mascot. So a big thank you to him for coming on out tonight. As once again, now we're about to get ready. As Rubino throws his first pitch as an Elmira enforcer, and that is strike number 1. So Rojas up. He obviously not coming out hacking right away. As Rubino ready, firing, and that's going to be ball number 1. So the Pioneers getting off here and trying to get out to a quick start. They want to finish this inning 1-2-3, as is often the case in the top of the first. Another throw in there. That's going to be ball number 2 as Rubino gets settled in on the mound. It's got to be a little bit of a transition going from college ball up to the collegiate league here in the summers, as this is fouled off. And a quick reminder to make the right decision. Insist on Karuba collision. So the foul goes out and into the Dunfield parking lot. So not the place you want to park real close, George.
No, I got to remember that next time.
So hopefully your car is in good shape. If not, make sure to call our great sponsors over at Karuba Collision. As Rubino delivers, that's going to be ball 3 and make a full count right out of the gate. So the Pioneers looking to get back on track here early, as Rubino has come out, and he's certainly showing some speed on those pitches. Fires one in there, and that is going to be ball 4. That was close from up here, George.
Absolutely. He's throwing with a high arm angle, and again, just a bit outside.
So as we move into Major League territory here.
We have a lot of Major League of what we can say.
Of course, a little limited. But people here are listening, and we want to thank you, Elmira, for tuning in here on Mixler.com and on YouTube. As the second batter comes up, this is Noah Fisher. He gets in there and takes ball number 1 as Fisher comes up to bat here. Tell you a little bit about him. He's from Madison Heights, Michigan, and goes to Northern Kentucky University. As Rubino waiting, looks, checks the runner, and just that one was a little bit away from the first baseman. No real chance for a tag, but still the continued checks here at the runner, continued looking over. A little bit concerned runner being on first as Rubino throws ball number 2. And the Pioneers are in a hole real quick here with a runner on first and 2-0 count. Rubino checks the runner yet again. That leadoff runner over there, very much in the mind of Noah Rubino. As once again, the check on the runner. He will set and get ready for just the third pitch to come in on the hitter, Noah Fisher. As there's the windup, and that one's going to be a strike, called strike number 1. As now it comes back to the pitcher, and the batter will check the sign. Fisher, of course, getting his opportunity down here in New York, not playing in his native home of Michigan, as many of these kids make the trek. Big hit there. That one's flied out to right field, a catch, and an attempt to double up here. Throwback, and he's going to get him double play, as that will get an out. The fly ball out to right, and that will bring up 2 outs fairly quickly.
Not a smart play there by Rojas. Going on the attempted steal, not keeping the eye on the I'm going to field around and right. And again, an easy double play for the Pioneers.
As now, third batter coming up in the order. This is Scott as he comes up. And again, getting things off and running here. Rubino got the chance to get out of this inning for sure. Big swing and a miss there after a ball on the first pitch of the at-bat. So, got two pitches in, a ball and a strike so far. Here comes the third pitch of the at-bat. Just a bit outside, as that'll make it 2-1 at the plate, but 2 outs right now, so a chance to get out of it at least. As you look at Rubino setting down on the mound, seems to be calm and real sure in every one of his movements thus far here, George. Another hit. That one bounces to the second baseman. Throw out to first, and that will end the first inning of play. So that's maybe not the start you wanted in the first inning, but George, that's not a bad play there, as that one dribbled up to the shortstop, and not a bad play at all.
Absolutely not a tough start to the inning where you give up the walk and the first guy gets on, but nice job on the defense, get the double play and then the ground out.
So 3 outs. When we come back, we will have the first at-bat of the year for the Elmira Pioneers. You're listening to Mixlr.com. Welcome back in here as we get ready for the bottom half of the first. The Elmira Pioneers getting their first at-bat of the season. And top of the first, didn't go down quite 1, 2, 3, but still 3 batters up, 3 batters back to the bench. And now the Elmira Pioneers will go to work. But they're going to have their work cut out for them as they are going to go against a solid pitcher, Joel Ciccanelli. He's going to come out and definitely be looking to throw strikes. You see some hockey hair going on down there.
Yeah, he's got the long hair. Again, another big presence on the mound out there tonight.
Certainly, from what we've seen so far with these warm-up pitches, he's certainly got some heat behind his throws here. You watch, and these are just the warm-ups, so you wonder what's going to happen when you get a batter in that batter's box there. That one skips on him a little bit, but not the bad time to do it if you're going to do it before the batters get into the box.
A nice, easy throwing motion, not too much into his mechanics.
Too much with mechanics, especially. Got to make sure you're getting into a groove. He certainly looked there. However, the Pioneers are going to be looking to set things up right. Buffington, the center fielder, who didn't see any action there in the first, but will see things with starting it off here at the bottom part of the first. Quinn Buffington, he came out and had a strong showing here in the first couple days. He's a freshman outfielder from Camp Hill, Pennsylvania. Multi-sport athlete, lettered for 3 years in both baseball and football, having won titles in high school in both sports. So certainly quite the resume.
Absolutely.
As now he lines up in the batter's box. Right-handed batter to start off. The throw and a swinging strike to start things off. Buffington certainly not taking that wait-and-see approach that we saw from the Geneva Red Wings.
Nope.
As once again, he will get into the box, looking. And another throw. That one's going to be a strike as well. They're going to say he held back, but he's got that one in the zone. So 0-2 to start off the bottom half of the first. Buffington certainly a effective leadoff batter as well. Able to really get around the bases as he lines up. Third pitch of the at-bat. That one's going to be a punch out. So a called strike 3 will bring up Brennan Dorigi. And he makes his way to the plate for the first time in a Pioneers uniform. Drigi, the third baseman for tonight.
One of a couple Wolford players out there tonight.
There's 4 Wolford players out there tonight. One for the Pioneers, and that is Brennan Drigi. You're looking at him right now. 3 on the opposing side for Geneva. Drigi lines up, swings and a miss. All right, I talked about it there before it started. Cicanelli, he's certainly able to get the heat going here. Another throw there. That one goes a little bit high, and that's going to be ball number 1. As Drigi will be looking to be the first Pioneers base runner this season, George.
The number 2 overall catcher in Colorado when they were doing my high school scouting. He fouls one off to the left side in the same high school as Brad Lidge.
Interesting.
There you go.
All right. Well, we just had a foul ball there, George. So when we have a foul ball, you got to make the right decision.
Insist on Karuba collision.
There we go. So
Is
1 and 2.
Is that our thing this year?
That's going to be our thing this year, George.
Okay. We're not going to get boxed.
Not going to get boxed at all, no. Another ball there. So 2 and 2. Drigi riding the count a little bit here and making the pitcher throw some pitches. Easy for me to say. As Drigi waiting. A couple of shakeoffs there. Pitcher and catcher got to get in sync a little bit. That one goes by. That's going to be ball number 3. And Drigi's pushed the count full. So the pitcher and catcher on that last one, as I said, 2 shakeoffs. You don't see that very often at this level, George.
No.
So we'll have to see what comes of this. As once again, Geneva will look to get on the same page. Really effective on that first batter, but Drigi's been able to ride the count a little bit. Hit there and a snag by the shortstop. That was a good play there. A little bit of a line drive to the shortstop.
I mean, Kaufman ranging over to his left, or his right, our left, a beautiful play, a nice little snare over at the at short.
Well, now we get to see the designated hitter, Cam Redding. As he comes to the dish, he will be the second right-handed batter of the evening for the Pioneers. As Redding lines it up. First pitch is a little bit high.
I'm talking about a couple Wolford guys, a couple St. Louis University guys, just like Redding.
St. Louis guys, I'll tell you what, those are interesting treks out there. As the second pitch is fouled away. And again, you got to make that right decision and insist on Karuba collision when you have an issue. So 1-1 is the count. 2 quick outs on the Pioneers thus far. As we're not too far into this one, just the bottom of the first. As a pitch coming again, that one's going to be a bit outside. And that'll push it to 2-1. As Cicanelli out there, I'll tell you what, the heat has been there. The location is maybe a little bit askew. And the Pioneers are trying to jump on those hard pitches. And there's a solid knock. Fly out, though, to center field. And that's going to be grabbed easily. And not a bad play. You swing, but just did not quite go the Pioneers' way on that one. So at the end of 1, tie score 0-0. Neither team with a hit, but neither team with an error either. As we head to the end of the first, the Pioneers will head back to the field, and Noah Rubino will head back to the mound. Mixler.com and live on YouTube.com. Don't forget to check out the Pioneers Facebook page where you can catch that link to check out all of the Pioneers action all season long. Right now, guys are missing it, so we'll give you a little view. There's a pizza eating contest, and I'll tell you Great sponsors for your Elmira Pioneers, and definitely something you should check out as they're continuing to try to eat here. The Pioneers getting ready to, they're watching the competition as there's the winner's been, and some patting of the belly there. But coming up to bat now is going to be Rogers for the Geneva Red Wings. So Trevor Rogers coming to the dish as Rubino will be looking to replicate his success in the first inning. Here comes Rogers getting into the batter's box. He will hit from the left-hand side as Rubino lines up a little bit stiffer competition there for the righty on the mound. As he will get ball number 1. And again, Rubino settling into a nice rhythm. Got a little bit of the jitters out of the way, but certainly seems to have calmed it down quite a bit, although he throws ball number 2 here, George. A little bit interesting always to see your first start in a new place. As the batter steps back in, and once again, Rubino delivers ball 3.
And again, kind of similar, nice easy motion. He's throwing very high. Again, a very high arm angle. Again, struggling to find the command early.
Of course, you wonder how much of that is just learning a new location. That one's thrown for strike 1. And clearly taking all the way on that one was Trevor Rogers. As he will come back in, and now we'll see if he's going to try to chase a little more or what we'll see. As the pitch is delivered and inside for ball number 4. So starting off just the same way we started off inning number 1, a walk. As once again, the Geneva Red Wings have a man on first with no outs. Didn't work out too well for him last time. The second batter hit a fly ball out to right field, thrown back into first for the tag up, and that was the end of that threat.
Easy double play.
Yeah, not one you see very often from the right field all the way back in over to first base, but saw it here tonight. Strike 1, a huge swing there from Kaufman. Kaufman swinging for the fences, and I'll tell you what, you can hit one out of done field. You got some major league scouts going to be looking at you. So Kaufman yet again back into the ball, eat up the center fielder for a moment, and that'll be a base hit. So little fly ball out to center, and Kaufman got to first base there. As once again, this one is becoming more and more interesting by the moment. As coming up to the plate will be Gao. Gao, a normal pitcher, but now he'll be designated hitting tonight.
So we got no Tawny here? A DH pitcher?
We do. So, once again, a big swing for strike 1. It's a very interesting move here by the Geneva Red Wings to continue to swing at that first pitch.
About to say they're attacking early, which is a little confusing considering the command struggles we've seen early here.
As the Pioneers move into a more double play depth infield, that's going to be ball 1. As the count goes to 1-1, Pioneers defending against that double play here, certainly wanting to find a way to get their pitcher out of this one. Pioneers defense going to be a big factor into how things go for them this season. A lot of these players are draft caliber players, and the Pioneers are going to have to play, and if that one's called a strike, Pioneers are certainly going to have to play in a way that allows them to be defensive-minded, because the pitchers, as good as they are, don't get me wrong, they're going to have to eventually give up some ground balls and pop flies, and the defense is going to have to be strong behind them. As Rubino lines up here, 1-2, he steps off as the man on second was teasing a little bit out there, and the Pioneers pitcher didn't want to risk anything throwing home. So he'll set again, take a look back a second. Much smaller lead this time. There's the throw, and the umpire says ball number 2. So that one just...
You mentioned the draft. The draft's on Monday.
Draft is on Monday. Dallas Keuchel still looking for a place to play ball. Elmira Pioneers wouldn't be a bad spot after 7 years with the Astros organization. As once again, the pitch, a strikeout there for Rubino. Swinging strike, and that will get the first out of the inning. As coming up to bat now will be Grundy. Cross Grundy. Addition here just today. Hadn't seen his name on the roster, but the manager gave it quickly as the right fielder for these Geneva Red Wings, and the Pioneers will be looking to get Cross to ground into something as they want to get out of this inning. Big swinging strike. George, you mentioned it. These early attacks in the strike zone are a little confusing considering the control or lack thereof that we've seen from Rubino here early. As now the lineup again sets and delivers. That one just a little bit low there. Ball 1-1-1. So ones are wild on the board. Want to remind everybody that when you're feeling a little wild, head on down to Tioga Downs Casino and Resort and see if you've got the lucky number ones. Rubino lining up yet again. He sets, looks back at second, and delivers. Swinging strike number 2 as Geneva continues to attack. And Rubino going to take advantage of that as much as he possibly can. So Grundy steps back in the batter's box. Swinging here as he's batting from the right side. Lines up, looks back, delivers, and that one's up. And this one should be playable. It will be. And now the Pioneers will try to get the ball back into the infield. And there's the throw. That one's going to go wide a little bit and just get back in there into Rubino's glove. So no problem there. That's going to be a fly ball out. We'll call it a sac fly there, out to Granger. The man on first stays on first. Rogers advanced as once again, this is going to be just a little bit of pressure here as the second out is on the board. But Hojanaki comes up to the plate, once again batting from the right-hand side. 2 outs on the board. And Rubino throws one in there. That's a ball. That one's low. So you don't quite see the attack that we saw there from the other 2 batters.
Nope, Hojanaki setting up back corner of a batter's box, high hands.
As once again, moving back into this batter's box here. Rubino looking. Attempted steal there. A throw down to second, and that one was a little bit crazy. Worried about a, well, hopefully nothing going wrong there, but you always get concerned when there's a runner on third.
Henneman, it was a tough play behind the plate because the ball was a little bit low and away. So, again, crossing all the way across and having to make a throw back over to second. It came in a little bit high.
So runners on second and third, 2 balls, no strikes. And there's the first strike with a swing. So 2-1 is the count. As once again, Hojanaki batting in the 8th spot comes out. He is a catcher for the Geneva Red Wings. Coming into this start here, another swing and a miss there. So that's going to be strike number 2. Hojanaki is out of Nicholsville, Kentucky, goes to Lynn University. Base open there at first. 2 runners on, second and third. Rubino sets again. Looks towards home plate. He winds, delivers. There's a pop-up. This one should be easy. And out number 3 as that one goes into the right fielder's glove. So, pop out. And not a bad play there if you're the Elmira Enforcers the Elmira Pioneers looking to get back out of the inning. George, we've seen a full 2 innings from the Geneva Red Wings. The batters coming in, they're certainly coming in with a little bit of swagger maybe.
Yeah, again, attacking early, trying to repeat from that playoff season.
And why not? You had the success last year. Got to try what works again. And the coaching staff sure hasn't forgotten that. As once again, the Elmira Pioneers getting set to come out. Trevor Henneman will start things off for the Elmira Pioneers. Henneman, of course, one of those returning veterans we talked about before the game. Want to remind everybody that if you're looking for a fun way to celebrate your next birthday, do it at the rec rink at First Arena. Got birthday fun for the whole family? Give us a call today, 607-734-7825 for more details. As now there's actually a hit up on the board. The visiting Geneva Red Wings have the only hit of the ball game, 1-0, as the Pioneers are coming up for their second turn at the dish. Pioneers have come in here a little bit conservative, if you don't mind my saying so, George.
No, again, a tough first inning with that strikeout looking, but with Henneman here, again, a guy who's coming back, a guy who's local, playing at Corning Painted Post High School, and also play basketball, a little bit of football, so a three-sport athlete coming onto the field here.
Well, where's he out of, George? I'm sure that's in your...
Yep, Corning Painted Post.
And where's he going to college?
Canisius.
Welch went to Canisius, since I'm sure you've got that in your notes somewhere.
That would be John Axford.
There you go.
The great mustache.
The great mustache.
A little Robbie Nichols mustache.
I was waiting for the comparison, and
Yeah.
I was wondering why that was taking so long. Was waiting for the mustache
I can't give away everything at once. I got
Well, I'll tell you, though, Trevor Henneman, he certainly made a big impact last season, and we'll see exactly what he brings to the team this year. Certainly coming in off another successful season at school. But once again, it's always interesting to see how things change from, of course, the regular season during the collegiate year when you have to focus on so much. I mean, that's such a big thing when you're at the school. You're looking at your GPA, you're trying to maintain the grades. In the summer, you can just play ball. And I think that makes quite a difference.
Absolutely. He's a pre-med student at Canisius. And again, he played last year, driving in 2 of Elmira's 5 runs in that playoff game.
So you're talking about a guy who's found success against Geneva before. Got to be hoping to do exactly the same thing here tonight. As Henneman gets in, kind of a Crouch Bagwell-like stance.
Yeah.
There's a foul ball. And we want to make sure you're making the right decision.
Insist on Karuba Collision.
Great sponsor out there at Karuba Collision. So 0-1 the count as Henneman steps back in. Again, interesting with that Crouch. You see guys like Jeff Bagwell do that. A couple of guys like Albert Pujols have copied it, swinging strike 2. But that Crouch does narrow the strike zone quite a bit. People talked about the power of those players, but they didn't talk about how many walks they had. Bagwell with over 400 walks, Pujols with just about as many. When they were hitting dingers, they were shrinking strike zones. And that is an advantage to this type of position, as that one's in there for ball number 1, 1-2 the count.
It's tough. A catcher, you'd think you're crouching all the time on those knees, and then you have a batting stance like that where you're putting even more pressure on those knees.
For sure. Definitely those catching positions, not an easy one to fulfill here. Another throw. That one's a little bit high, as that's going to be ball number 2. So a 2-2 count, as the Pioneers still looking for their first base runner on the night, as we played 1.5. Geneva getting set on the mound once again is Ciccinelli. Ciccinelli taking his time, very deliberate with his pitching. Throws, that's ball number 3 in the dirt. So it's interesting to watch the pre-pitch ritual that almost every pitcher has. And Ciccinelli, it's very deliberate, very it's all forward motion though. You see some pitchers rock back. It's not really that from Ciccinelli. Everything comes forward, as that one's popped up and into foul territory, but that's going to be an out, as unfortunately fouled out there, as that one was caught by the first baseman. And now coming up will be Trey Harmon, getting his first at bat for the season. He's playing first base this year, as Harmon steps into the batter's box again. Seeing a lot of right-handed batters here tonight. Here comes that pitch again, and a little bit low according to the umpire. Ball number 1.
Harmon, one of those Kentucky guys, a freshman.
So you get those players from Kentucky. Those guys, I'll tell you what, you come out of Kentucky, that's almost a step to the major leagues, if you will. As ball number 2.
I think playing the SEC, you're facing pitchers that are coming out of Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt guys are usually the ones that get drafted.
For sure. Vanderbilt's been pretty high in the draft for the last number of years. As now Harmon getting in there, looking for his pitch. It's delivered, and Ball number 3. So good eye on Trey Harmon thus far as he's worked the count to 3-0. First baseman down a little bit lower in the order than I normally expect to see a first baseman. Number 5. You normally see him in the top 3 or 4, as that one's going to be strike one looking. Harmon was looking all the way on that one, and now we'll check for a sign from his third base coach. Harmon steps back into the batter's box. 3-1 the count. He watches the pitch. Coming in, swings, sent over to the third baseman. Third baseman picks up, sends across to first. That's going to be an error, and that one's going to hit the fence. Second, he's going to stop there. So, an interesting play there as he grounded the ball, as he grounded it over there towards left. He reached second on an error, and wow, the first hit of the game comes off the bat of Trey Harmon.
Well, it's more out of a hand of Kaufman. Just a bad throw by Kaufman. He made a nice one in the first. Again, just throws wide and out of play towards first.
So, error on the board. It will officially count as an error. As once again, the Pioneers will come back to bat. This is Ruhlman. He made the final out last year as he steps into the left-hand side of the batter's box. A pitch there for strike one looking. As once again, the Pioneers now have a runner in scoring position for the first time this season. Bottom of the second inning. Pitch is thrown, a swinging strike, a huge hack at that one. He was looking for the parking lot. As now he will step back in. This is Ruhlman. Once again, the subject of our first Feral Gas Friday. Make sure to check out our YouTube every Friday for more Feral Gas Fridays. The windup. Looking back a second now. The pitch. And a foul ball. That one's going to go out into the crowd as the foul will keep alive Ruhlman. And we want to make sure you make the right decision.
Insist on Karuba collision.
As once again, coming back into the box will be Ruhlman. Waiting, watching the pitcher as he watches this runner on second. Here's the throw down and in the dirt, gets away from the catcher. Don't think you're going to see any movement there from Trey Harmon, though. Nope. Harmon certainly not the fastest runner, but certainly has some pop in his bat if he can get it going. 1-2, the count here. As stepping back into the box goes Ruhlman. 1 out. As Ruhlman lines it up here. Waits for the pitch. Ciccanelli looking back towards second. He winds up and steps off. And Harmon darted back pretty quickly, but there was no fielder anywhere near him. Don't know what Ciccanelli had planned to do besides chase down Harmon all the way back to second there.
And pretty close to a balk as well.
He had come a little bit further forward. Like I said, his entire movement is all forward. There's no rocking back motion. Another throw. Pop into left field is now coming around. Might be the run of the season. Harmon crosses the plate and diving into second base. Safe. A double there for Ruhlman. So, a beauty of a play there as he hits the line drive into left field. Gets down, gets to second as the throw there came in and just was unable to get the runner at home. But Ruhlman puts himself back into scoring position. So the first hit of the Pioneer season comes off of the bat of Mason Ruhlman. And he drives in the first run as Trey Harmon touches the dish. Now coming up, Zur will bat. The freshman infielder from Siena has had a rough freshman year. Bunch of injuries. I got the chance to talk with him as he swings in strike number 1. He really was talking about he just came back from a broken finger. He's still healing up on that, but he's able to play and was excited for the chance to come to Elmira. I'd heard great things from his teammates, and Siena's been a long-time port for Elmira Pioneers players. So another pitch coming here, and that one's going to be outside for ball 1, driving the count even as Zur steps back in.
And Town is a very good defensive shortstop by his coach there at Siena.
certainly with good motion. You can see it just the way he watches every pitch. He moves with it. And now we'll see how he does up at the dish. There's the throw. They're going to call that strike number 2 on the called strike. Zura looking down at his third base coach. And with a 1-2 count, now the Pioneers are going to hope to be able to drive something. Huge gap there to the right-hand side as the second baseman keeping on. Ruhlman back there at second. There's the throw, a swinging strike number 3, and Zura will strike out. Bring up Granger. Comes up here in the bottom of the second to extend that as Granger.
Another local guy
Out of Horseheads. He's from Lackawanna College at the moment. So, Granger lines it up. Looking down, the pitching once again has been, well, surprising from Geneva. A ball there, as you couldn't call it consistent, but it's been, it's been high heat. I'll give it that for sure. So once again, Granger stepping in here. He's got a 1-0 count. Runner on second. And again, second base being held on there by that second baseman, opening up a huge hole. As that hit is going to go into center field, and that's going to drive in a second run. As the throw comes in here, is cut off, and the Pioneers go up 2-0 on the single coming off the bat of Granger. So, line that one out to center. And he only reached first, but I'll tell you what, not a bad second inning here.
No, not at all. I'm considering the Enforcers went down.
Pioneers.
We're going to have a lot of that this season. The Pioneers going down 3 quick early in the first. Having what, their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guy come up to the plate here.
This is Schultz. Schultz coming up. And here's the pitch. And that's going to be strike 1. Called strike 1. 2 outs. Runner on first. So this is the first time in a little bit that we've not been able to say there's a runner in scoring position. The Pioneers have really come out effectively here. You still see a little hit there. Going to bloop its way through and through the infield. And going on to third base now is going to be Granger. And Granger slides in. He's going to be safe. Losing the ball is the third baseman. Goes Schultz. So that was a heck of a play there. Ground ball goes all the way through. And
the ball bounced just out of the bare hand of the pitcher and then, again, took a weird hop in the dirt in center field.
So Quinn Buffington coming back to the dish. He not so great in the night thus far. 0 for 1, obviously. But runners on second and third, and I had just said, it's been a little bit since we got to say that there were no runners in scoring position. Well, the Pioneers heard me and put 2 guys there. As now Buffington going to be looking to drive in some runs. The pitch and strike 1. Looked a little on the outside. Buffington didn't like it. He came in very aggressive earlier. So he's going a little bit different way here.
He struck out on 3 pitches looking.
As now Buffington waits. Pitcher checking third pretty consistently there. A hit, and that one hits the pitcher.
He caught it.
Did he catch it?
He did.
Yes, he did. So a huge catch there to get out of the inning. And wow, that was rocketed. So a line drive to the pitcher. You don't see that one very often as the training staff comes right out to check on Ciccanelli. And he appears to be okay, and he ended the inning, so he will definitely take it. We will step aside. You're listening to the Elmira Pioneers on Mixlr.com. So after 2 complete, Pioneers leading 2-0, 3 hits. And I'll tell you what, glad to see Ciccanelli get up and be okay. I thought he took that one off his body, but he caught the ball. Quite the play.
Amazing. Again, you think about in the big leagues, they talk about him did patting on the head. It was all glove there.
All glove.
Again, he hit Tech with that one, but it was a beautiful catch there by Signorelli.
Well, I remind everybody, Marion Decker Insurance has been helping people in Elmira for over 34 years. Shouldn't you have an ace in the bullpen? Call 607-734-1100 to protect yourself today. As now back into the top half of an inning, number 3. This time, the Geneva Red Wings trail 2-0. So, first third of the game here, George, and we're going into it as Wolf comes up to the dish here. Rubino certainly been sitting quite a while now. Wonder if that throws off a pitcher like that when you have to sit for so long. As he throws a foul-tipped strike number 1. So not showing any signs of rust here, and if it is, that's some pretty good rust.
Now you're talking about a little bit of a warmer night, not super warm, so that should help.
As now Rubino will get set once again on the hill. Again, Rubino, a high school standout, and just hasn't found quite as many as many opportunities at college quite yet. He gives that one in, and that's a fly out there to left field. So the outs move quickly here as Granger puts out the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up Brain Rojas. As once again, this is all going to get everything going here. The top of the order, Brainy Rojas. He comes in out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. Swinging strike number 1 to start things off. He is a prototypical leadoff hitter. We saw the walk there in the first. He was teasing off first base, really had Rubino checking up on him quite a bit. A attempted bunt there. He pulls it back. That's going to be ball number 1. Count moves to 1-1. As now Rubino gets back on the hill. Looks down. Certainly doesn't want to give any room. And there's another pitch for a ball just outside.
We talk about Geneva there coming out attacking early, but again, we talk about command issues that Rubino's had early, and Geneva responding here with back-to-back balls.
There's another windup and a pitch. Again, the umpire says it was inside and perhaps a little bit low. As the count moves to 3-1. Certainly some work here as Rubino will get set. Looking towards the dish. Fires, and that one bounces and gets behind the catcher. So ball 4 there, as once again, we'll see Rojas stand on first base here at Dunn Field. Rubino certainly looking around and trying to figure out where his command is.
I'm sure he'd love this inning to go exactly how it went for Fisher with a fly out to right. It turned into a double play.
For sure. As we'll see, Fisher, you can't take much away from the amount of wood he got on the ball there as he drove that one out to right. And a fake steal there, but that's going to be ball 1 as Rubino reacted and might have released a little too early there, George. So Rubino getting set again as he checks out the runner on first. Fires over, and no chance to get Rojas as Rubino will come back to the mound. Rubino wearing number 35. Any significance there, George? Or
not off
Justin
the top of my head.
Verlander?
Oh, yeah.
Has another check on the runner.
It's a weird number for a pitcher, though.
It is.
Again, a couple guys who have had success with it, but it's a weird number.
True enough. Verlander comes to mind. World Series champion. Just throwing that out there as he delivers again. And that one's up and in, so that's going to be another ball. Quite a few balls in a row here, George.
Yeah.
Have not quite found the strike zone.
We're at 4
Rubino.
straight now.
It is 4 straight. As, again, he was tripped off there on that first pitch. There's a pitch and fouled away. So we'll see our first strike in a little while as the count moves to 2-1. Fisher will line it up yet again. 2-1 count, 1 out. Love to see a quick double play turned here and get out of the inning as Elmira has staked themselves to a 2-0 lead here early. Rubino lining up, looks at the catcher, and winds up, throws. That one's popped up again, out to center field. He will track it down as Rojas goes back to first. So the flyout will get the Pioneers one out closer, but will not allow the runner to advance. Was possible for a chance there, as deep as that one was hit, George.
Again, nice, almost trailing away from center.
Mm-hmm. As Scott comes into the batter's box and will line it up. Rubino looking, firing, and fouled off there. So there's that aggressive aggressiveness at the plate. You expect to see that out of a 3-4-5 hitter, though.
Yeah.
So the heart of the order.
Again, weird because, again, how many times can you say, but command issues that Rubino has had.
As he will line it up again. Looking, checking, and checking it first and steps off. With 2 outs, and you've said it yourself, you call quite a lot of ball. I constantly question why so much checking on the runner. Another shot there, half swing, the umpire says, as the ball rolled all the way back to the backstop. So a swinging strike that did get behind the catcher as an advance here on a passed ball. That was, I'll tell you what, folks, if you haven't been to Dunfield, the area from home plate to the backstop is about the size of, well, the pitcher's mound to any base. It's a decent distance for a catcher to have to travel, and the fence really doesn't bounce back towards the catcher at all. Another throw for a ball there, as now we move along. The count goes up to 1-2. Still 2 men out. So, George, the point I was getting to before that passed ball, you see a lot of guys worry way too much about the runner when you got 2 outs. Just something that's been going on for years, and I'm not exactly sure how you fix that. Another foul ball there.
Again, it's kind of a mentality mindset. Some guys get completely locked in on the hitter. Other guys, they get worried. They keep checking over. One thing with baseball, I'd love to see, I don't know if it's able to be something that they're ever going to be able to do, is limit the number of throwovers. Because sometimes you get 3 or 4 consistent back-to-back throwovers. And it's one of those things where we're talking about speeding up the game. That's one of those things that really slows it down.
For sure. As now, once again, the windup from Rubino. Throws. And Rubino started to walk towards the dugout. The umpire said no, 2-2.
He tried to drop in that curveball. We talked about the slow curveball going 12-6, but just a bit outside.
Just a bit, but I don't know. I don't know if that was 12-6. It looked like it had quite a bit of curve on it, narrowing on a slider there. As that one cut from the outer batter's box, which is why I think he thought it was a strike. As Rubino looks back towards second. Now he'll fire, and that's going to be strike 3 with the punch out. Looking, and that will end the top half of the third. After 2.5, we've got a 2-0 score. The Elmira Pioneers take the lead. So as we head in to the mid part of the inning, if you've got a large group, need something to do, bring your group of 10 or more to a Pioneers game. We've got great discounted rates, incentives to bring your group out. Give us a call today, 607-734-2690. So once again, we're going to see, I can't believe he's back out there, to be perfectly honest with you, but coming back out is Ciccanelli. His glove has got to be throbbing at this point, because I'll tell you what, that drive certainly had quite a bit on it.
Again, it was a screamer, and very lucky there.
Very, very lucky. But, that ball gets by him. That's going to drive in both of those runs back an inning ago. However, that does mean that the first batter of this inning, Dorigi, and what a player he can be. You see the things he's done so far. He's actually been able to play quite a few games here during his college stint. And it's going to be one of those things where you get to see more action, especially over the summer league against collegiate players. You're going to develop that confidence.
I mean, he was an outstanding high school player, as many of these guys were. He had 375, a 480 on-base percentage when he was in high school playing out in Colorado.
And again, you referenced earlier the major league connections of the high school. Brad Lidge, I believe, was the name you brought up. And
8 major league guys have come out of that high school.
And that's always kind of amazing when you think about the number of high schools in America, and then you think about the number of players that have come out of it. 8 major league ball players. Clearly, if you want to be in the major leagues, maybe a place you want to go and
Cherry
at least
Creek High School.
learning from the coaches. As now Derigi will come up to the plate. See what the Pioneers figured out about Ciccanelli. They certainly seem to find something back there in the bottom half of the second. And of course, in these collegiate ball areas, it's kind of interesting to wait and see pitch counts and what kind of factors go in. You have to assume early in the season that these managers have talked with the college coaches and figured out exactly what kind of regiment you want on every individual player. But, as the playoffs get nearer and nearer, you're obviously going to put out the guys that you think can win.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point in the year, you wonder what count regiment you put on these guys, as that one's fouled away. Coming out swinging. Certainly, like I said, the Pioneers saw something in the bottom half of that second. So as we head into the bottom of the third inning here, Derigi already with the foul ball. That one's going to be ball one. So we've got a 1-1 count. Ciccanelli, again, a pitcher that I'm sure a lot of players may not be as familiar with, but I'll tell you what, he has got some gas, and he can certainly turn it on. That full forward motion, you don't see a lot of that. There's a lot of rocking normally, and that's a swinging strike. This is going to be the putout, as swinging strike number 3 with the putout over there at first. Catcher to 1.
Again, it's very easy. It's almost Sabathia-like.
It is.
Again, no rock back, just all forward motion.
As now coming up, Cam Redding. Redding just recently got into the Pioneers lineup. Came in yesterday, as a matter of fact. Got a chance. And this is a weird thing for this league, is some of these players are still playing in national tournaments and championships. It makes it difficult to put a long, and I'll tell you what, it's got a challenge for these. So now Redding lining up yet again. The pitch. And that's going to be a called strike. So 1-1. As coming back into the box, Redding. Not wasting any time. Redding looking at the pitch. Comes in, and that's going to be a ball. So 2-1. 2-1 on the designated hitter. Redding getting a chance to slowly get his feet wet, I guess, if you will, playing the designated hitting spot.
Very successful here, 307 batter before coming in here.
Oh, looking to get up to 500 here on today's game, as that one's driven back towards right field, back and just ahead of the warning track. Redding's going to fly it out. That'll bring up Henneman. Henneman, who was the first Pioneers player to reach this season. So he will come up here. He reached on the play back in the second inning and certainly started things off. So always interesting to see how things get going. The first hit, of course, coming from Trey Harmon. As now, once again, Henneman will step in. Play coming here at the dish. Looking out. The pitch comes, and that's going to be a strike looking.
Very athletic family. His father played college football for Bucknell and then went to the Eagles. Had a couple practice sessions with the Eagles. Didn't actually play for them, though.
Another pitch, and that one is driven foul. Again, we talk about his stance. Very closed, compact, Bagwell-esque. As we'll see, you talked about it, too, about being a catcher and the wear and tear on the knees, and then to try to hit from that position. It's got to be uncomfortable as you continue on, but he drives one there to the third baseman, misplays it, and that's going to be another to the first base. That one, I don't know if the third baseman catches him anyway.
Whether that hit.
They do give him the credit for the hit, so Henneman goes to first, and now the first hitter of the season, Trey Harmon, steps in, and we'll see if he can duplicate the success. As once again, the Pioneers may be threatening. As Harmon rips one right away. That one goes out to left field, and that will put runners on first and second. So, line drive to left. Harmon gets to first, and Henneman advances. So, The Pioneers certainly finding a formula here.
A nice 2-out hitting.
Nice 2-out hitting for sure, to say the very least. 5 hits in the game so far. As stepping up to the dish now, Ruhlman. Ruhlman, again, we talked about it. He had that final out in the playoff game last season, and you're sure something like that sticks with somebody, especially when you come back and put on the uniform again. As there's a foul off, and once again, make the right decision.
And insist on Karuba collision.
As we don't want to see anybody with a damaged car out there in the parking lot. So, Ruhlman will line it up yet again. See, a little bit different stance here from the pitcher. Didn't see too much of an adjustment when there was runners on before. Now you're seeing him start to position himself a little differently, and CC Sabathia-esque is not a misnomer there. Firing. That one's hit over the head, and this may drive in a run. Coming around third, here comes the Pioneers yet again. They're going to score as the ball gets by, and another hit for the Elmira Pioneers. So that one got in just over second baseman's head. And wow, just a great play there. So Harmon reaches second. Hanneman is going to score, and the Pioneers go up 3-0. And now the pitching coach going to head out and have a conversation with his hurler. And I don't know how much blame you can put on Ciccanelli, but he certainly is. You can't say he's having trouble finding the strike zone.
He's been attacking early, and again, he's had some great power here. But again, Pioneers 3 straight hits after those 2 quick outs.
As Davis Zur will come to the plate, the Washington native was wearing a Washington State t-shirt despite not playing in Washington State, but repping that Husky will, as now he has gone out to Siena. Certainly coast to coast, if you will. A little different atmosphere.
Yeah.
As Davis Zur will come up to the plate, and it looks like another opportunity here. Got those first 2 outs pretty, and then has had a little trouble closing out the third inning.
He threw about 5 pitches to those first 2 batters, then again 3 straight hits by Elmira.
And the Pioneers certainly coming out and performing effectively. As once again, here comes the pitch. I noted it a little bit ago. He's changed his pitching delivery a little bit. Now there you see ball 1. So we'll see if Ciccanelli makes an adjustment here after the visit with the pitching coach.
And no one warming up in the pen yet.
The pen, an interesting spot here at Dunfield for the visitors, as it's somewhat reminiscent of the San Francisco Giants.
You read my mind.
As once again, the pitch coming. And just outside again, as that'll drive it to 2-0. Runners on first and second. So the Pioneers still threatening here.
I think Wrigley used to have it like that, and then they moved him out into right field.
They did, as a matter of fact. As once again, 2-0 count, 2 outs, 3-0 Elmira Pioneers. As Geneva has yet to crack the scoreboard, they do have a hit, but no crooked numbers in the other area. As that's ball number 3. So the pitching coach's visit so far not paying off for the Geneva Red Wings. Davis Zur, again, we talked about him being Washington-born. Certainly plenty of great baseball to watch there back in the early years. Ken Griffey Jr., Randy Johnson, Alex Rodriguez.
Not too much now.
As ball 4 straight pitches. As now the Pioneers will bring up, and they have a bases loaded opportunity for the first time in 2019. As Granger comes out, he will look down to his third base coach. Granger, tell you what, he's going to be looking to add some RBIs to his stat line here.
He's already got 1 tonight.
He does have 1 on the board already. We'll see what he can do with the rest of them. As the lineup, and that one's outside yet again. I said it there after the visit from the pitching coach. Really, helping out as much as we saw 4 straight balls, and now we've seen 5 straight.
Now they have someone up in the bullpen. Yeah, lefty.
Ciccanelli. Throws again for ball. Seen 6 straight balls since the visit from pitching coach. As now, once again, the time is called. And not sure where that time came from. Might be an umpire's timeout. As now, stepping back into the box is Granger. And there's a strike. So, strike called. 2-1. Siccanelli finding the strike zone yet again.
It took him long enough.
It did take a little bit. That's unfortunate. As he winds, delivers a hit there. This is going to get into the glove of the right fielder with the bases loaded. So, fly out to the right fielder, and that will do it for 3 full as the Pioneers add another one in the bottom of the third. The score is now 3-0. And we want to thank everybody once again for tuning in here on Mixlr.com and on YouTube.com. Make sure to stay with us. We'll be back with the top half of the fourth. The lights have come on at Dunn Field as now the Pioneers head to the top of the fourth inning. George, the third inning, obviously not ending the way the Pioneers would have liked with the bases loaded, but I'll tell you what, they're certainly finding ways to get connection with the ball. You noted during that half-inning break that the Geneva bullpen is started to stir a little bit down there.
Again, there's a couple different guys. They had a lefty warming up. It's a little hard to see from our angle. But it's either Abalone or Geisel who was warming up, so we'll see if they come in the next half of the inning.
As the Pioneers are going to stick with their pitcher, Rubino comes back out. And I'll tell you what, despite some command trouble, he is really having a heck of a first outing here for the Elmira Pioneers. So Rubino is stepping back onto the rubber, and Geneva will send up their first batter of the inning. This will be Rogers. Rogers stepping in, wind up and the pitch. There's some solid connection, and that's going to be foul. It gets over the fence, and a sigh of relief for Rubino.
That had home run distance. It was again, just hooked a little bit foul over by Karuba collision sign.
And speaking of Karuba collision, make sure you make the right decision.
I insist on Karuba collision, and it goes right over our sign in foul territory.
It certainly did.
That's apropos there.
It is. As once again, 0-1 the count now. So Rubino certainly going to be a little bit more cautious as he throws outside on that one. Ball number 1.
And you smell the hot dogs now here too. The lights are on. The hot dog machine is on.
Everything is starting to smell
Everything's going
like
good.
Summer. And that is the favorite part of being at the ballpark, is it not, George?
It is. I wish it was a little bit warmer, not too warm. I won't be saying that when we're in the middle of July and it starts heating up. Is a ball in the dirt.
Another ball. So we've got a 2-1 count. The one strike, of course, coming on the near homer, if you will, as that one went over the Karuba collision sign just to the right of the foul pole out there in right field. Another delivery. That one catches the corner. Strike number 2. Looking. As now Rogers will feel the pressure of a 2-2 count. And we'll see what Rubino decides to go. As here's the pitch. Swinging. Grounded. Foul.
Ooh.
So that one, that was
a lucky
close.
call.
It was very, very close down that first base line.
I mean, it looked like it hopped over the near side corner of that first base bag, but just a bit outside.
Just
Just
a bit
outside of that bag.
As now, once again, we want to remind everybody, fireworks happening tonight and tomorrow night as well. Going to be a fun time at historic Dunn Field. Another pitch coming, and that one must have been a little low because it certainly looked like it caught the outside corner. As once again, Rubino going to be looking to get the punch out here. Certainly doesn't want to put anything on the bat of Rogers, the cleanup hitter. And like we said, the heart of the order here for Geneva. Another swinging strike there. That's going to be fouled off and up into the netting just below us. Once again, the Pioneers pitching will have to find a way to get through this batter. And I'll tell you what, Rogers certainly has showed the power here in this at-bat. 3-2 count. Nobody out. Only one hit on the Geneva stat line at the moment. Wind up, pitch, and fouled up right towards our window there, George.
I was just thinking about that. They're getting closer and closer. We have a nice small window, so not too big of a target. I've had a couple baseballs come back and hit me, but I have the glass window there. We don't have a glass window here, so
no, we opened the window.
We'll probably I bet we'll get one or two up here at some point during the season.
One or two, maybe, yeah. It's possible. As once again, the pitch. And there's a ground ball to the second baseman. It takes a wacky hop and gets by. So we'll see how that one is ruled.
They're playing deep in second base.
They do give it a hit.
Oh.
So a single given there as Rogers will reach. And Geneva does get a hit on the column as Kaufman comes up now. As once again, hey, look at that, George. We just had some delivery.
Someone heard my call about how good the hot dogs smell.
They certainly do, and we'll be trying those in the next half inning for sure.
Well, I might get to it right now.
Well,
I'm hungry.
hey, do your thing. As the Pioneers go back to work, that's ball number 1. As the Elmira Pioneers up 3-0 at the moment. Second hit of the ball game just occurred on a ball that ate up Mason Ruhlman there at second. Another pitch from Rubino. That one's hammered and caught out there in left field. So a nice play as the Pioneers get the out. Granger makes the grab, and Rogers will be forced to stay at first. So 1 out. Gao comes up. And once again, Geneva certainly having to crawl out of a hole. They're down 3-0 in the top of the 4th inning.
Yeah.
So not an easy spot to be. We're about to reach the halfway point of this game.
We're moving quickly here.
We certainly are. As that one's... No, that's a strike. Okay, I was about to call that a bit outside, but called strike.
We're all still learning here.
Certainly are. As once again, Rubino getting set. The key to playing in this league, especially, George, another throw there for a ball, is going to be being okay with getting hit.
Yep.
The pitchers in this league have certainly come. We talked about a little bit about Rubino's high school stats and the comparison to moving to college ball. But when you think about the fact that you have got to be okay with getting hit, you've got to adapt an Andy Pettit-like mentality. As strike number 2 looking, where you can be okay with getting hit because you can rely on the defense behind you. And we saw that there with the first out. And I think if these pitchers are going to succeed at this level, they're going to have to find a way to get very comfortable with getting hit. As now Rubino lines it up again. He throws, fouled off again. Make the right decision, George.
And insist on Karuba collision. We talking about the food delivery, by the way. There's a great story. The old color analyst for the Phillies, Richie Ashburn, Hall of Famer, when he was doing color back in the 80s and 90s, he talked about his favorite pizza place that he had. And even though they weren't a sponsor, he kept bringing them up over and over. And at one point during the game, they delivered a large pepperoni pizza.
Hey,
that's part of his story.
There you go.
But one part of it was there's a ball outside. He was told that the pizza place wasn't a sponsor, and I forget what their names were. We'll just say it was like Sam and Sally's Pizza. So at one point he said, "A very happy birthday to Sam and Sally, and I hope they get a large pizza delivered here tonight." And then of course he got that large pizza delivered.
As there's a ground ball again to second, and fielder's choice, he'll throw to first to get the out. So in play, that's going to be an out on the ground out. Went to Ruhlman over to first base and advance on the fielder's choice. So Rogers gets to second. We've got 2 outs in the inning. And once again, Rubino has Geneva's back up against the wall. Geneva does have a runner in scoring position. I don't believe we've yet tonight.
No.
So Geneva in a new experience here. Rubino.
Yeah, they had a couple guys in the second.
Okay, so excuse me. My mistake there. There was some walks there. My apologies. As there's a strike 1.
Made a ton of walks.
We did. We talked about Rubino's problem with his finding the zone, but certainly calmed down now as we're in the top of the 4th inning. Rubino checking the runner at second, throws down again, and there's strike number 2. Strike looking. So 2 strikes, 2 outs, even though the board out there reads differently.
Yep, I was checking my numbers here. It is 2 outs.
So
scared me for a second. I'm writing in pen here, not pencil.
we write in pen, folks.
Yes.
We're a confident group up here in the booth. And there's ball 1. That one definitely was outside. I was even able to see that. As now we had once again a 1-2 count.
Now
2 outs and they fixed the 2 outs. So waiting on the adjustment, I believe, is the umpire, as he held up 1 finger on the left, 2 on the right. And there's a swinging strike for strike number 3. And that will do it for the ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the Pioneers on Mixlr.com. We'll be right back. Fun here at Dunfield, and they're playing Weenie in the Pants down there. Those pants look somewhat familiar, as they're throwing hot dogs at the other kids wearing the oversized pants. George, any comment?
No, I mean Miss Delicious hot dog.
And they are delicious. Make sure to stop by the Dunfield concession stand to Dunfield. They're still throwing weenies at the pants, and look at that. They're catching them. Kid on the right has 2 weenies in his pants now.
Yep.
Only one with the jeans. The one in the dress pants has caught 2. So, kid in the brown pants wins. Now, make sure those get cleaned before they come back. All right. So, as we get ready for the bottom half of the 4th inning, the Elmira Pioneers, 6 hits, 3 runs. I mean, really, George, this has been, you couldn't have asked for a better home opener.
No, they had a great 3rd inning where, despite the 2 quick outs with strikeout and the fly out, 1, 2, 3, 4 guys got on base right after that. And then, again, it's been a great start to the season for the Pioneers.
And now you got Schultz coming up, looking to start things off the right way here in the bottom of the 4th, as he will line it up. Same pitcher. We're still seeing Ciccanelli out there. And like I said, I like his stuff. He's got some good deliveries. There's a leadoff hit there as he's going to try to beat it out, but no, he grounds out to the shortstop. Not a bad play, though. If you're the Pioneers, come out and start swinging. You've had success with it so far. Don't sit back. Don't wait. You know the kind of power that Ciccanelli's going to throw at you.
Yep.
Quinn Buffington now coming up. Not the strongest night for Buffington so far.
0 for 2 with that strikeout, looking and then the line drive into the face of the pitcher who ended up catching with the glove.
I'm sorry. I'm still stuck back in that. That was impressive. That was a great play. As now we'll see. Wind up the pitch. And strike one looking. So Buffington trying to find his stride here as a leadoff batter. Certainly an adjustment for any hitter. As he will wait. Sees the pitch and fouls that one off. As that will bring the count to 0-2. So Buffington struck out back in the first. I believe he struck out looking as well.
Yep.
It's going to be a little bit of pressure. Definitely don't want to give up anything on that one. As once again, you're seeing the shaking off. You don't see that as much from Rubino. As there's the punch out looking yet again. So Buffington will take a seat, and the Pioneers now have 2 outs.
Yeah, but that's worked for them today.
It has.
You get those 2 quick outs, and then you attack. It's an excellent game plan thus far.
Brennan Derigi will come up and fire away.
He needs to get going, too. Also 0-2. Punch out.
It's kind of funny as you look at it. The top half of the lineup here tonight has not been effective.
No, they're 0 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0 for 7, those top 3 hitters.
So not the start you want from your 1, 2, 3.
With 3 strikeouts.
The bottom half of the lineup, however, I'll tell you what.
The middle part of the lineup's looking pretty darn good.
The middle part you always expect. It's the bottom half, to me, that's a little more surprising. As the first pitch comes in and is a ball. Bottom half is not usually the place I expect to see a lot of hitting come from, George.
No.
As now the Pioneers will look again. As Geneva's just trying to get through 4 complete. Swinging strike there from Derigi. 1-1 is the count. So now we'll see as Derigi lines it back up again. Here comes the pitch. And that one's a bit inside. Haven't had the chance to use the old I can't believe they're not swinging at pitches this close.
Mm.
We'll break it out eventually, George. We will.
At one point, we got a book of them.
As there's ball number 3. So Derigi with a chance to break the streak here. Get himself on base. 3-1. So this next pitch is going to be something at least borderline. As the pitch comes and the swing, and that's going to be a fouled strike. So we go to full count. 3-2, 2 out. Pioneers have nobody on base, but I'll tell you what, the 2 outs hits have been dropping in for him today, but he takes ball 4. So Derigi gets on base for the first time in 2019. Cam Redding will make his next venture to the plate.
He's flying out twice to the outfield so far.
We talked about the 1, 2, and 3 spots having had a little trouble here. We'll see. Streak has been broken as once again Derigi stands on first. Redding getting into the box. Again, a lot of shaking off here between pitcher and catcher. We haven't seen that on the Pioneer side of the ball. The throw. Strike 1. Hit the inside corner there. Called strike.
Again, we talk about a lot of these guys not knowing each other very long, so some guys may have a different idea of how to take or attack these hitters.
You would think the pitcher and catcher would get together before
you would
the
think they
opener,
would.
though. As once again, the windup, the pitch, and fouled off yet again. So we've got 0-2. 2 outs. Runner on first. Chance for the Pioneers to keep the inning alive or to move on to the top of the 5th. We'll see. Coming up now, Redding, looking. He waits. Pitcher sets. Looking back towards the catcher, winds up, throws, and way outside. That one, it looked like he got away from the catcher there. Not quite a pass ball. Good defensive play from the catcher back behind the plate, Hojanaki. As now, once again, Redding will await the deciding pitch here, 1-2. Redding looking to put something into the outfield. As you see, you look around Dunfield, that outfield is pretty intimidating.
A lot of room out there.
As once again, the pitcher sets. Sicanelli winds up, delivers, hit into that outfield we just talked about, and it is going to get down. So a single, and getting into third on the start from first will be Dorigi.
Nice heads-up play there.
Very nice. As that line drive out there to left field got Redding to first.
And again, 2-out hitting for the Pioneers.
Keep seeing it. And it was just smart base running there, too, from Dorigi.
Mm-hmm.
So now we get into the lineup, part of the lineup that has certainly been hitting. As coming up now, Henneman, a catcher with a unique batting stance. He will settle back in. The 2-out hitting continues.
He has one of those 2-out hits tonight for the Pioneers.
He certainly does.
Also scored a run with 2 outs.
Very effective here early. As he will wait the pitch. It comes in, and ball number 1. So we've talked about the Pioneers keeping the inning going, and they have found a way to do exactly that. Big there between first and second again. Not quite the same size on the left-hand side of the field between third and the shortstop, as that's going to be a strike. Called strike 1, 1-1. So once again, as coming up here is Henneman. You look at these veteran players, and they know the league, but I don't know how much of an advantage it is when you face brand new players year after year. As the pitch is delivered a little bit low, that's going to be 2-1.
Again, these guys coming from all over the place. So unlike when talking about growing up, you're playing in the same little league and then perfect game league in high school and college. A lot of these guys have never seen each other. Not too much video on some of these guys.
For sure. And not a lot of time as we talk about it. College just ended. I mean, some of these guys got in yesterday. It's not a lot of time to do the video research and get your team put together. But I'll tell you what, thus far, the Pioneers have looked pretty good. 3-0 lead in the bottom of the 4th. 2 balls, 1 strike, runners on first and third. And now we'll have to see what the Pioneers can do here. Umpire gives the go-ahead to the pitcher. It's like a split in bowling for the pitcher. As now, once again, 3-1. You watch him check the runners. He goes from third to first, and it's, the split in bowling. That's the best reference I've got for it. You don't often see the double check of a runner, though, either, the third to first. You usually see the pitcher go to his dominant side. He winds up, throws, and that's going to be a ball. Ball 4, he walks the bases loaded. So that brings up Trey Harmon, the first Pioneer to get a hit this season. And hold on. Seeing the look over at the bench from the pitcher, I thought we might see the manager. He was certainly taking notes.
Again, that lefty is still warming up in the bullpen. He's been warming up for a couple innings now.
So Trey Harmon will go to work. And he will be looking for a sweet 2-out hit that'll drive in a couple of runs here. See what Harmon can do. As he has the bat on his shoulder, and he'll watch one go by for strike number 1. 0-1 the count, George. As once again, the Pioneers have the bases loaded. Although I'll tell you, the last time the Pioneers had the bases loaded, the result was not the one they wanted. Harmon waiting on the pitch. Wind up, delivery, and again over the heart of the plate. Strike number 2. Harmon is looking for something very specific, apparently, and he has not found it yet. So Harmon will step back into the batter's box. Sicanelli looking around. And there's a bouncing pitch, so that'll be ball number 1. As Harmon still waiting on the perfect pitch. He has an idea in his head of what he wants to do. And we'll have to see exactly what that is. As Harmon steps back into the box. Hopefully he's going to get it here. He lines it up again. 1-2 the count. Harmon sets. The pitcher now setting. Sicanelli looks. Took a brief glance back at second, and now throws one down in the dirt. That's going to be ball number 2. Living dangerously here with the zone. So now 2-2, 2 out. Pioneers looking to add 3-0 advantage thus far. They've scored in each of the past 2 innings. And Harmon waits. He swings and strike 3. That will do it. 4 inning number 4 at the end of 4. 3-0 Pioneers. And we go to the top of the 5th. We'll be right back. You're listening to Mixlr.com, your home for Pioneers baseball all season long. As your Elmira Pioneers lead 3-0 after 4 complete. And the Pioneers are continuing to rev up this Dunfield crowd. There's dancing and, well, dancing. Tell you what, it's always fun to watch the Pioneers come out. Make sure you get down to Dunfield and see them doing their choreographed routines. I got to tell you what, that is quite impressive. As the flips and the splits begin, I have not seen anything like it in my years in the minors. So excellent work by the Pioneers. As Rubino comes back out to the mound, he will begin his 5th inning of work here in his first game. Hojanaki will come up to the dish for the Geneva Red Wings. The windup, the pitch, and strike 1. Swinging strike as Hojanaki certainly looking to get his team back into the game. Not sure you can do it with one swing of the bat.
No, especially when you're down 3-0.
One swing of the bat will definitely not bring in 3 runs with nobody on base, but
you can try, but
get something going. As a called strike looking there was Hojanaki. With the Geneva Red Wings, you have to feel a little bit frustrated. The pitching command has not been what you expect. As there's a swinging strike 3, so Hojanaki will take a seat as he's tagged out just for good measure by Henneman. Wolf will come up to bat now, the 9th batter in the lineup. Geneva finally making it around for another rotation at the dish.
It took him long enough.
It did take quite a while.
Only 2 hits today.
Only the 2 hits, but I'll tell you what, if you count the number of walks there, they certainly added up to quite a bit. Not able to push any across the dish, though, there, as Rubino throws one in for a ball.
3 walks, by the way.
3 walks. Seems like quite a few more there,
We've
George.
had a lot of walks in this game.
As Rubino throwing again, there's a foul off. So, want to remind you again to make the right decision.
And insist on Karuba collision.
Make sure to take it to Karuba Collision the next time you have damage to your vehicle. 1-1-1. Ones are wild, and we remind you again to visit Tioga Downs when you're feeling wild. The windup, the pitch, and it bounced. They're going to check. No swing, says the first base umpire. We've got a ball. 2-1. And Rubino, hold on. Drum is saying that it was tipped. So the swing didn't matter. The umpire says he checked with the first base umpire, and they agree it's nothing. So Drum wanted that strike, and Rubino certainly wanted that strike as well. But now they got to work from a 2-1 count. Pitch hit there, popped up to center field, and this is going to be an easy out. Can of corn for Buffington. Yes, I said can of corn. You're looking at me now. That was an easy one there for Buffington out there at center. And it brings up the top of the order, Brainy Rojas. Rojas coming back out, the Wilkes-Barre native.
2 walks tonight as the leadoff man.
2 walks tonight.
Pretty good.
Very effective at working the count.
He's riding for free.
He's certainly
not
riding
20
for free.
miles, but
not
he's
20
riding
miles,
for free.
90 feet down to first base. As another pitch comes in, that's going to be his strike. That may have been the curveball. That may have been the curveball there, as it seemed to streak away from the inside part of the batter's box and over the inside part of the plate. Rubino fires another one. That's going to be strike 2 looking. And
working quickly, too.
Rubino certainly has found his control here in the later part of the game, as we're in the top of the 5th already. Rubino winding up one more time. He's looking for a punch out, and he's not going to get it. That one's drilled there into left field. So a line drive for Rojas. So line drive into left field, and Rojas gets the 3rd hit of the game for the Geneva Red Wings. Now Rubino will go back to work against Fisher, as there's 2 outs, only 1 on the board. As once again, looking to get out of the inning. Doesn't need a double play here unless you're looking at the board out there. And there's an attempted stolen base, thrown down to second and safe, as Rojas was able to get the jump. And it just looked like maybe there was a little bit of a miscommunication there.
Just a little bit.
Couldn't quite get the ball off quick enough. As once again, Rubino will go back to work. As stepping off of the rubber there, the ball was called. So we line it up yet again. Pitch is thrown. And ball. So hold on. Did they call that a 1-1? All right. So excuse me. So we had a strike on the first pitch and a ball on the second pitch. We got a 1-1 count, reminding you once again, when you're feeling wild, go on down to Tioga Downs. George, have you been to Tioga Downs?
I have not. I've driven past it a couple times.
Quite a great place to go watch a pulled cart horse race, as the runner is checked back to second base by Rubino. Certainly don't want to let Rojas get himself moving, despite there being 2 outs. Big swing and a miss there on the pitch, as Fisher is looking to get this one closer. 1-2, 2 outs in the inning, as the Pioneers looking to make their way to the bottom of the 5th. The outs finally corrected on the board, as here's the pitch from Rubino, and a foul off. Make the right decision, George.
And insist on Karuba collision.
As once again, walking back to the mound goes Rubino. Rubino continuing to fidget with his belt. I'm not sure if that's just
could be like one of those little
quirks, trademarks. Yeah. As once again, the windup, the pitch, and in the dirt, and down to third, way over third, and this is going to score Geneva's first run. As they are going to tally, Rojas is going to plate himself there. He advances on a stolen base to third. And then on an error here, he's going to advance on the pass ball all the way home and bring it to a 3-1 ball game. Still 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the Pioneers have given up their first run of the 2019 campaign. Another foul ball. And we must insist that you make the right decision.
And insist on Karuba collision.
For sure.
Yeah.
Fisher still up at the plate. He's going to be looking to do something here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. The delivery, and just a bit outside.
I may need to repaint those batter boxes.
A little bit.
But one is completely gone.
Well, a lot of right-handed batters up at the dish tonight, so hard to keep those lines. As once again, the windup and the pitch. And they're going to punch him out. That's a called strike 3. And after another half an inning, the Pioneers give up their first run of the season, but they still lead 3-1. George, quite an interesting little set here.
Very interesting.
As the Pioneers are now going to get their chance at the dish. We've got a substitute pitcher here. The coach coming out to signal that he's got a pitching change.
We do have that lefty, and he's been warming up for a while.
So we'll see who's coming up and firing away here as soon as we get a look at the number. As it looks,
I see a 1 and a 3, 1 and a 9. Something like that.
See if we can get a good look.
It's one of the few lefties.
So a little bit of indecisiveness here as we haven't quite gotten a good look at the
I forgot my
new
binoculars.
pitcher.
So I did get a way overthrow. Maybe let's see. Oh, no, that doesn't help. I'm trying with my phone here to zoom in on him.
See if that does
not work.
Avalon would be the obvious as he's a left-handed pitcher. Though it looks like I'm seeing 10.
It could be Geisel.
I'm seeing down as Miles Stearns, but he's listed as a right-hander. So we're watching again.
Someone's out there.
There is a new pitcher for Geneva. We will find out who that is as soon as we possibly can.
We just need you to turn around once.
As hear my my cohort asking for a little bit of
a little 360, a quick turn.
We'll zoom in.
It is a 10.
It is 10.
Okay.
All right. Well, we
have a Pat Venditti, like a switch-handed pitcher, or
perhaps
or just a low roster error on the part of the coaching staff.
It could be a little roster error. So we're gonna say it's Miles Stearns to go into the game. I may be wrong. I may be right. We'll have to find out. But again, the new pitcher comes in.
That's a good guess.
The Pioneers coming in and getting set for the top of the 5th, and it's going to be Ruhlman up to start the inning. As Ruhlman comes towards the dish here. High fives all around from the infield. I got to tell you, these concession stand dogs, they are something, George.
They are.
Always an excellent service here at the ballpark. So Ruhlman coming up to the dish. As once again, the Pioneers getting set to go to work. Ruhlman comes up. He waits the first pitch from the new pitcher. As there it is. Watched strike. 0-1.
I think I messed up my score sheet.
Well,
One of many times I will do that, probably.
Another toss there. That's going to be a little bit high.
Working quickly.
As once again, Ruhlman setting himself in the box. The pitch just a bit outside. 2-1.
We'll have a lot of those little Bob Uecker.
To listen to Bob live in Milwaukee and tell you what an amazing person. Another windup in a pitch, and that one's ticked foul there.
Might have gone off his foot.
Just a wee bit. As once again, the Pioneers will go back to work here. Ruhlman setting himself up here. The board right now reads 2-2 with 2 out, but there's no out. Batter of the inning. There we go, clearing it up. High pitch there. It's going to be 3-2, running the count full. Have to see what the Red Wings' newest pitcher, who we believe is Stearns, fires. That one's hit up in the air. This should be a can of corn, and it will be. So Ruhlman with a nice attempt there, but that's going to be a fly out there to Wolf. And now coming up to bat, Davis Zur. Zur, who has had a interesting start thus far.
Strike out and walk.
He's worked both odd ends of the spectrum. We'll see if he can move it along and get himself his first hit as a Pioneer, as that one bounces away from the catcher for ball one. So one more time, Zur coming up. 1-0 count. There is an out in the inning already, bottom of the fifth. And there is ball two. Okay.
Yep.
Zur was almost sold on it. He checked his swing.
It's opening day for everyone.
As he will wait for the pitch. Pitcher comes to home, and wow, that one was way inside. Just missed Zur. Recently back again, as we discussed earlier, from an injury, broke his finger earlier on in this collegiate season.
Again, another Sienna guy.
Sienna certainly brings themselves a good reputation with their players that have come here to play for the Pioneers. Ball four. That ball did get away from the catcher there, but Zur will find himself on first base on 4 straight pitches. Coming up now, Zach Granger.
You have 4 walks now for the Pioneers.
And they will take that for sure. Always a quick, easy way to get on base for the Elmira Pioneers. Earn that walk. So once again, coming up to bat this time will be Zach Granger. Granger with a runner on first now facing a left-handed pitcher, so a little bit different. That's going to be a called strike.
Did have that big RBI single in the second. Strained it on third.
So Granger lining it up yet again. The pitch. And just inside. That one's going to be a ball. 1-1 the count. So the pitcher waits the sign. Haven't seen any shakeoffs yet from this pitcher. We're seeing a lot of it there. Oh,
Yep,
here
now
we go.
We get the visit.
Visit to the mound. So maybe not the shakeoff, but the visit to the mound is never a good sign. Want to get the pitcher and the catcher on the same page. That is for sure. As once again, the Pioneers are waiting for the conference on the mound to be over, and we will see what this brings. As once again, this pitcher comes in, he has a very effective first batter, and then wasn't able to replicate the success.
That's about it.
As he walked the next batter on 4 straight pitches. And there's another ball. So we are seeing quite a few balls here thus far.
Consistency is the key.
It certainly is. As another ball comes up there. Another pitch, and that's going to be a strike. Called on the outside corner. As once again, the Elmira Pioneers, 2-2 is the count. 1 out this time instead of 2, so that may be a little bit different. That's going to move the runner up on a ball that got past the catcher. So we've got a 3-2 count, and a runner on second as Davis Zur takes advantage and gets through on the pass ball. For Granger with a runner in scoring position. Seen a couple of those today. As Granger waits the pitch. 3-2. In between first and second. If he can push the ball, be a heck of a time to do it. As once again, here comes the pitch. As he He steps back and walks back the runner. A little bit dangerous there. I thought that one came a little bit closer to a balk than even the one we saw earlier. So another opportunity incoming, and that's a strike. No, they're going to say that was a foul ball.
Yep.
So he got a piece of it. Keeps himself alive, 3-2. That one was in the dirt. Would have been nice to take the walk there. So 3-2, 1 out. Runner in scoring position on second. Schultz in the on-deck circle. Firing, and again a foul ball. So he's certainly keeping the at-bat going. Quite a plate appearance here for Granger.
Yeah, he's battling. A full count, too.
You like to see that in your first at-bat. First home game here, getting to see the players really putting out their effort in front of the hometown crowd. Another hit. That one's popped up towards center field and caught. This should move the runner on to third, and no, double play. So an attempted sac fly there, but it didn't quite work out that way. So a fly out to center. And then
a conventional 8-5 put out.
Don't know that I've ever seen a conventional 8-5 put out, but hey.
There you go. You just saw your first.
You get one, and you never know what could happen next. At the end of 5 innings of play, the Elmira Pioneers 3, Geneva Red Wings 1. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Elmira Pioneers on Mixlr.com. Pioneers are back and out in the field. A new pitcher, Stephen Rossi, a 6'1", 200-pound freshman from Suffolk, by way of Corning, New York. Excuse me. This season, Stephen put together a scoreless 2-hit, 4-walk, 8 strikeout effort over 6 innings in his college debut, a 6-0 shutout of Wentworth on March 9th. So, not a not a bad way to start the college career, if I do say so.
Now you got the GNAC Rookie of the Week honors for that strong outing.
So Rossi is in. His first pitch is a ball.
And another one of those Corning Painted Post high school guys.
He certainly is. Corning Painted Post, certainly quite the turnouter of Pioneers in the past couple of years as a swinging strike. Puts the count back even. So Rubino, in his first outing as an Elmira Pioneer, not a bad start.
And pretty darn good considering he had some control issues early.
1 run, 3 hits, and I'll tell you what, anybody would take that any time of the year. As another ball here, as Rossi gets the work through the 6th. 2-1 now. Rossi winds up, he throws, and a swinging strike. As it seems as though Geneva is feeling the pressure as they're about to make their way through the second third of this ball game. Another pitch and another swinging strike. So Rossi comes in and makes Scott look like no problem, as now coming up will be Rogers, and we've seen his power Yes, it was a foul ball. Yes, it went over the Karuba collision sign. Yes, it went out of the ballpark. But certainly something to be wary.
He got a single after that, though.
He did.
And 1 for 2 today, or actually 1 for 1 with the walk.
He did have the walk as well.
He's been stranded in scoring position twice tonight.
Need to not let him get on base. He's certainly been effective thus far as a strike. So, called strike there as we see the effort certainly coming in out of the bullpen here. Rossi having a heck of a top of the 6th there. Rossi winds up, he deals, and another ball.
We're doing the A like we're back in hockey with Canada. A?
I'm an A guy. Yeah. What can I say? As once again, another opportunity here for Rossi. He winds, he deals, and ball number 2. Just a bit outside there. As once again, doesn't want to give in here to Rogers. And it's hard to blame him with the way Rogers can pound that ball. There's the deal. Another one that just missed the outside corner. 3-1. Don't want to give up a walk either, though.
Nope.
Certainly not with 1 out. Dangerous times here. Rossi winds and deals. That is going to catch the outside corner, so a looking strike. Full count. Rodriguez going to get an opportunity here. 3-2. You know you're going to see something. Wind up and the pitch. And ball 4. So Rossi walks him the second walk of the night. I don't think Rogers had a heck of a lot of stealing ability,
No.
but you wonder.
You do wonder.
Those are the kind of guys that you will occasionally see. I can recount David Ortiz stealing a base. You think about those type of players. Mo Vaughn has stolen a base.
Ryan Howard, I think he had like 6 or 7 stolen bases in his career. But his 4 hitters can show some speed every once in a while.
There's a delivery way outside. As once again, Rossi winding up, he delivers. And just outside, maybe a little bit low as well.
A sneaky base stealer is David Ortiz.
For sure.
Whenever you don't expect it.
Ever.
He did hit 17 times. Only caught 9 times, though.
There you go. That's impressive.
That is.
As once again, 2-2 is the count. The windup, the pitch from Rossi. Wow, that one was a little bit more than just a bit. As we move to a full count, 3-2-1 up on the scoreboard. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As the Pioneers looking to make their way through the second third of the defensive outs they need.
Double play would be beautiful here.
It would not be a bad time for it, as there goes the runner from first, and the jumping ball is going to give an opportunity to get to third and second as well. There's the throw, and the play was made to third, not to second. So on the walk, this is kind of a crazy play, but on the attempted steal, Rogers will advance to third on a passed ball, and Kaufman on that same pass ball will advance to second, giving not only an opportunity to tie the game with runners on second and third when 1 out, but an opportunity to really start a heck of an inning now that you've gotten Rubino out of the game.
You think the only runner that scored may have that stolen base and then may eat 2 in a passed ball. So, again, it's been all defense going against Pioneers.
As Rossi winds up and he throws another one for a ball. This is Gao.
0 for 2 with a strikeout.
0 for 2 would be a lot of this lineup right now as you look around.
0 for 1, he had a fielder's choice.
This is true. As once again, play comes home. Rossi with a firing shot, and that's a swinging strike.
About time. So
Rossi does get the strike, 1-1. As now we've got a 3-1 ball game. Runners threatening. We're wild again. 1-1-1, George. Time to head on down to
Tioga Downs.
As once again, Rossi winds up throwing. Strike 2. That one was called. So Rossi's found his control yet again. Rossi's pitches vary quite a bit. Certainly an interesting prospect here, as he was a late addition to the team. Stephen Rossi came on just a couple of days ago. Pitch is thrown and didn't quite catch the inside corner. 2-2-1 against the pitcher turned designated hitter, Gal. He will most certainly be seen as a pitcher at some point, but I'll tell you what, his hitting ability is certainly nothing to shirk at either. Here comes the pitch, and grounded to the right side. Second baseman will play, and first, the run will score from third, and that brings the game to within a run now. So the ground out from 13 to 34. Kaufman moved ahead by the batter to third, and Rodriguez will score. So we've got a runner at third. Grundy at the plate. 2 outs on the board. So Grundy, all the pressure on him, as now the Red Wings have scored in the last 2 innings. A swinging strike to start it off. And I said the pressure on him, we're certainly seeing it, George.
Again, the consistency has not been key for him in this inning.
Has not. Rossi certainly has come out and shown some brilliance at times here, as we have a 1-strike count. Another pitch. That one's going to go outside. Ball 1.
I mean, he came out firing with that quick strikeout to start the inning.
He certainly did.
And since then, it's been 2 walks, a couple wild pitches, a fielder's choice.
So a 3-2 ball game. That's why they play 9 innings, folks.
It is.
Pioneers had a great second, a great third, but the 5th and 6th now have gone to the Geneva Red Wings, the ones who eliminated the Pioneers last season from playoff contention, as ball 2 is thrown. Tell you what, they were smart to work Rubino out of the game. Rubino certainly started seemingly to find his stuff there in the 5th inning. As once again, Kaufman sits on third base. The pitch comes home, and that one's fouled into the booth next to us.
Yeah.
Hope everyone's okay. I heard it bounce. As peek my head over there and make sure everybody's all right. And just looking for some thumbs up here. Make sure everybody's doing all right in the box next to us. They appear to be. All right. Smiles all around.
As long as we're still sitting or standing.
Everybody's
That's
okay.
all we want.
So, another foul ball, as that one's high and outside, and forgive me, I forgot to mention it. We have to say we make the right decision.
And insist on Karuba collision.
We hope nobody next door needed a Karuba collision on that one. As once again, 3-2 is the count. 2 outs, trying to get out of the inning. Rossi, that one's popped up, and that one's going to go into the parking lot, maybe out towards the dike.
I think that one's going to the Shamong.
That one went into the Shamong. Okay.
Not quite Three River Stadium.
Not quite. A little close.
Yeah.
But make the right decision.
And hit a Karuba collision.
There you go.
And don't get boxed either.
Don't get boxed. As another 3-2 pitch. Top of the 6th. Rossi looks to get out of it. And ball 4. Little bit high. And that will bring up Hojanaki. As we look down towards the Pioneers bullpen, don't see any action going on down there quite yet.
A little surprising.
As once again, runners first and third, and the Pioneers looking to work their way out of trouble. Rossi has come in. I'll tell you what, he was firing darts to start, and then I don't know if he lost confidence in his stuff or what, but certainly a tale of 2 pitchers here in the top of the 6th.
He's at all 2-strike counts in every single batter he's faced.
As there's another pitch. That one's going to be just outside for a ball. As here comes the second pitch of the at-bat. Hojanaki has not had a thrilling day at the plate. Certainly has found his liking to being behind the plate than to the side of it. As there's a hit, and getting there, but not able to make the catch. That one bounced. No, they called it out.
Oh,
They said that was an out. I thought it bounced.
it bounced.
The fielding umpire said they made the catch there. Schultz with a diving catch. No video replay to check out, but wow. All right. Well, it's a fly out and a heck of a grab by Schultz as we're counting it that way. So there it is. George,
Yeah.
thoughts, opinions?
It bounced.
As we move to the bottom of the sixth. 3-2 game for the Pioneers, and well, a little bit lucky on that.
Well, not puck luck, but
So make the catch, get out of the inning, and go to the bottom of the sixth.
Yep.
We're through 2/3 of a game. The Elmira Pioneers, certainly a lot of work to do here as they go into the bottom of the sixth inning with a very slim 1-run lead. 9 defensive outs away from their first victory of the season. And we want to remind everybody that if you're looking to have a great time on your next birthday, you can book a party down at the rec rink at First Arena. Give us a call today to find out all the great details about how we can make your next birthday a special one at First Arena's rec rink. 607-734-7825. Also want to remind everybody once again, Marion Decker Insurance has been helping people in Elmira for over 34 years. Shouldn't you have an ace in the bullpen? Call 607-734-1100 and protect yourself today. So, we go back to it, and Stearns will head back out to the hill. Coming up next, Garrett Schultz.
yeah,
Schultz, who has had an interesting day at the plate.
1 for 2.
1 for 2, but certainly kept it lively as he will make his way to the dish once again. And he will be followed up by the top of the order. So it's always interesting to me when you start an inning with the number 9 batter. Certainly not the intention of any manager ever.
No.
But
I mean, it's not the pitcher, so you almost
that is true.
some guys, they work those back-to-back leadoff hitter type guys.
And that is definitely an AL strategy.
Yeah.
As we see Schultz come up, he will take his first cuts here as the pitch comes in. And that's going to be a called strike, excuse me. As Schultz watched that one go by. Stearns setting again. He winds up. He throws just a little bit outside. That one cut the left side batter's box there. As once again, another opportunity for the Pioneers. The pitch. And a half swing. They're going to say that was a strike. So he went, according to the umpire, on the swing, giving it a 1-2 count. Another windup and pitch from Stearns. That one's connected with. That's going to get foul, and nobody's going to get there. A foul ball keeps him alive. As once again, Schultz will stay at the dish. He's getting a couple of hacks in here off to the side, trying to straighten out that swing a little bit. So, another pitch here for Schultz. And this one he's going to drive towards the first baseman. He comes up with it. Schultz is really moving, and the first baseman does beat him out there. So it was in play, ground out to the first baseman. But heck of an effort on the run there. Got to give credit where credit is due.
Great effort.
Quinn Buffington will come up to the dish.
He's looking to change his fortunes around.
The top of the order has certainly not been the hot spot for the Elmira Pioneers today. And I caught myself. Yes, I did. I almost did. But who knows? Maybe we'll have Enforcers Night this year. We can get some cool-looking jerseys.
Oh, we got Team of Pay up here.
There you go. A swinging strike there. Buffington coming out very aggressive. He has been that way so far tonight, quite a bit.
He hasn't had at least unless I've missed something, he hasn't had a ball called in any of his at-bats tonight.
He does not like to watch it, that's for sure. Strike 2 on the swing.
Unless it's swinging because he struck out twice looking.
As once again, 0-2 the count. There's an out on the ledger already. That number 9 batter, Schultz, was unable to reach first. Derigi waits on deck. He's looking for an opportunity. Would love to have a runner on base. As that one's thrown, and another strike as the catcher throws down and will get him. So the swinging strike and then the throw out.
We're on Golden Sombrero watch tonight, folks.
We are. Unfortunate first game of the year, but leadoff batters often fall into that category, though. It's a hard position. You think about a guy, I'll throw out the example of Craig Biggio, 3,000 hits, but if you look at the amount of strikeouts, it's it's impressive. As now, once again, coming out, Brennan Dorigi.
Not his son, Kevin Biggio.
Kevin's having a heck of a year. And another throw. That one's going to be low for a ball.
1,700 strikeouts for Biggio.
1,700 strikeouts.
So
3,000 hits, but
Yep.
but 1,700 strikeouts. It's leadoff position is not an easy one to play. That is for sure. As there's another toss to the dish. As George, have you make the next few calls here for just a second? We're having some technical issues.
All right, so 2-0 count here to Dorini with 2 outs. Look in, a wind up. And the 2-0 pitch is low for ball 3, so working a 3-ball count here is Dorini. 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout tonight. In the left-handed batter's box, lefty on lefty with 3-0 pitch. He fouls that one off to the left side to make the right decision and insist on Karuba collision. Dorini steps back in. 3-1 the count, but wind up a pitch. Is in the dirt for ball 4. So back-to-back walks for Dorini. Now bring up the DH Cam Redding. 1 for 3 tonight with a single. He was left on second his last time up. A lefty on righty here with the runner on first. And a short lead off on first. Here with 2 outs. Pitch there, a big hack, and he fouls it back to the screen. You make the right decision. Insist on Karuba collision. Close enough. Looking in again here, 0-1. Another short lead off of first. The set, behind, and the pitch is in the dirt, bounces in front of the plate. Runner going to second, but throw. No, he will hold on to it. As Dorini heads over to second. And he bounced that one right in front of the plate. So we reset here now. Again, 2 outs, 1-1 the count. Runner on second. The lefty looking in. The lead from second. The pitch gets by. Runner goes back over to third. They'll hold him there. Again, another wild pitch. And the Pioneers have a runner at third base. And 3-1 the count now to Cam Redding, the DH.
My apologies about that, George. Sorry.
You missed a little bit.
I did. I do apologize about that, as once again, a lot happening there. So we come back. It's a 3-1 count.
Yeah.
Just the way you want it to go.
And you got the runner on third. Couple pass balls.
You like to see the pass balls, and certainly a chance to get back into the 2-run lead area. So another walk issue.
Yeah. Back-to-back walks.
So first and third now. A lot going on here, as with 2 outs yet again. And that seems to be the the usual nature for the Pioneers to this point of the season. Just 1 game in.
There's a righty warming up in the bullpen.
A large list of righties for the Red Wings, so we'll see who's actually going to come out. But
we thought this guy was a righty before he came.
We did.
We knew he was a lefty, but we thought the name was a righty.
So Henneman comes in, which means we'll see that unique batting stance yet again.
Yeah. It's worked for him, though.
It certainly has.
This thing going to walk.
As we'll see what he can do here. The lefty. Another pitch laid in there for a ball. As once again, 1 ball, no strikes, 2 out. 2 runners on, first and third. The split is on yet again here, George.
They head over to Tioga Downs, right?
Not quite yet. That was the split, not the lucky pitch.
Oh,
2-0 now.
I heard split, so we can still go to Tioga
You
Downs.
could still go to Tioga Downs. Heck of a place to go, and we certainly love it. Crab Buffet on Thursday. Never a bad place to stop.
I'll keep that in mind.
For sure. As once again, 2-0. As here come the Pioneers again. You hear the crowd really getting into it. Ball 3. A chance to walk the bases loaded. However, if you're the Pioneers, the history on the bases loaded, not on your side here tonight.
No, but again, they're doing it all with 2 outs.
They are. The 2-out transitional hitting has been absolutely phenomenal to this point.
And the 2-out walks.
The 2-out walks have certainly helped. We can't deny that. Another pitch, and that's going to be a called strike. As the fans...
You got to help a pitcher out every once in a while.
Well, the fans don't seem to agree, but everyone else in the ballpark will have to take that one as one more time for Henneman, 3-1. That one's outside, ball 4. Henneman will head to first, and that means with men on first, second, and third, Harmon will come back to the plate, and the catcher will have a discussion with his pitcher. So we see it yet again. Bases are loaded. Bottom of the 6th. 1-run lead for the Pioneers. 9 defensive outs away from their first win of the season. The countdown is on, George.
Yeah.
And once again, Trey Harmon coming up to bat. As we're hearing some talking from next door, but good to hear them still moving around over there.
I think we got a pitching change coming.
You think so? As everyone heads towards the pitcher's mound, we'll see who's heading out for the pitcher's mound. Not truly surprising. The catcher went out there probably just to earn a couple more minutes, or a couple more seconds, excuse me, for the pitcher to get himself warmed.
Well, when you get 3 straight walks, I think you've earned yourself a new pitcher.
As now making his way out, taking possession of the ball, and hopefully spinning around.
Is a righty.
We do have a right-handed pitcher. We are that much aware. We'll see. There's no ball in the back to go work around your hand, so no rosin bag.
I think I see a 7.
You see a 7. So
I think I do. I don't know if that helps.
Not too much. We'll see. If it's only a 7, it does help. We will see.
I don't think it's only a 7.
It does not look like it. These gray and red uniforms tend to blend in against the beautiful lights of the Dunn Field.
Benibo's nice enforcers bright green.
There you go.
And make the suggestion.
You getting 17 there?
I am.
I'm feeling like it's 17. Maxwell Barsamian from Weston, Massachusetts, the Trinity College freshman. So Barsamian coming in. And that will put an end to the day of Stearns. As now, once again, want to remind you, if you didn't get a chance to tune in, make sure you tune in early. Every home game, we'll have our Miller's Mowing pregame show. If your field isn't game day ready, call Miller's Mowing 607-302-8826. As we get stretched out up here in the booth.
We're stretching out. The pitcher's stretching out.
We're all getting comfortable. First one. And we're looking forward to many, many more, and hopefully a couple in August.
We are.
Certainly wouldn't mind seeing another playoff run.
We've had one already in Elmira.
One already this year.
Not Titletown just yet.
Not Titletown yet. We got Boston competing in the Stanley Cup final, looking to close. How many times has that been done? I mean, you talk about baseball, football, hockey. Unbelievable. Elmira could do that.
They could. We just need a basketball team now.
You never know.
Does Robbie know a guy? Or?
You know, Robbie knows a lot of guys. I'm sure there's a possibility. But you never know what could come as Harmon steps back in.
We'll talk to the county about that.
As once again, Harmon waiting the pitch and just a bit inside. Harmon getting a close shave there. So he will look out at the pitcher and let him know he wasn't happy about the pitch.
No.
He steps back in the batter's box. Pitcher delivers and strike one looking. So a heck of a pitch there as Barsamian making his notes into the game.
Harmon, a 4-year letterman who also played basketball in high school out in Kentucky. In Somerset, Kentucky.
Another pitch that's right over the heart of the plate. Called strike 2, 1-2. And Harmon's looking for something. And if he gets it, going to be in trouble here.
I'd say he was a power forward when he played basketball.
I'd say that wouldn't be inaccurate, judging on the height. A big swinging strike, strike 3. And unfortunately, the bases loaded streak continues as the Pioneers continue to struggle. So, not able to drive in any runs, but they've got 7 hits up on the board.
3 walks in the inning.
So, the Pioneers making their way back to the field. And ladies and gentlemen on YouTube, give you a chance to watch the Pioneers as they take the field and choreograph dance routines. Always fun to come check out.
We'll have our own by the end of the season.
We'll figure something out. As here we go. Not sure what the song's going to be. Haven't heard anything yet. A little hard to hear up here anyway.
A little hard.
Speakers aren't exactly pulsating through our box here, but
no.
We'll see how the dancing goes. As they're waiting too, I believe. Not sure. Maybe we aren't the only ones having the technical difficulties here, George.
I think so. Let's see. They're still waiting. We're still waiting. There's a pitcher warming up. Same pitcher.
It's still Rossi, yep.
Will, are you surprised by that?
I'm not. So Rossi.
Oh.
All right. So
they're waving.
They're waving.
They're doing a wave.
So an unfortunate problem with the technical difficulties there.
That's a shame.
As I said, we had our own there in the last half inning. But now we'll get back to business, and that business is baseball.
It is.
Top of the 7th inning, the Elmira Pioneers, 3. The Geneva Red Wings, 2.
All on runs.
Very, very important inning for Rossi. He needs to come in and shut the door here. You have to assume he'll be on a tight leash, although I don't see anybody warming up down in the bullpen.
Interesting strategy there.
We'll see if it pays off for him, Cotton.
Yeah.
As there's a ground ball to the right-hand side, and that's going to go in for a hit. First pitch, swinging. Don't see a ton of that. Ground ball to the right side for a single by Wolf as Rojas will come back up, and Rojas has been in trouble all game long. Oh, wait, we're going to have a pinch runner here. Making his way out.
Number 6.
Number 6, Brandon Cooper will take over at first base. So once again, as I try to find him on the roster sheet, there he is. Brandon Cooper makes his way out. He's from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Adrian College.
Oh.
As the pitch is delivered, and that one's popped up. As that one gets
off
into the stands. Make the right decision.
And insist on Karupa collision.
That's a foul ball. As once again,
Rojas is 1 for 1 with 2 walks. A solid night.
It's been a crazy night for Rojas. Brainy has come in, and the Wilkes-Barre native has really made an impact. They might not have been able to push him across the plate, but the walk, the hit, it has been effective to say the least. As there's a attempted punt, he pulls it back. That's going to be a ball. As Rossi came a little close.
I'm going to push him off the plate.
Making sure that he wasn't going to get a cheap one, that's for sure. So once again, 1-1 the count. And we'll see what the Pioneers do here. As another attempted bunt will be pushed back towards the third baseman. No, they're going to say that hit off Rojas. Dead ball. And interesting. All right, so we've got a strike. As once again, we move back in here. 1-2. None out. Runner on first. You got to think the bunt's off the table for sure now, George.
You would think so. Oh, third baseman's playing back now.
As once again, Rossi checks over at first. Not a ton of movement from first. As there's the throw down to second, and keeping it in front of him was the second baseman. Gonna call him safe right away.
We see why Cooper came in.
For sure. That was a very, very small lead as well. Credit to Cooper on making that dash, because you don't see the first to second from about a foot off the bag very often.
And now you got the tying run in scoring position.
Tying run is in scoring position with no outs. And of course, Brainy up at the dish here. 2-2. He's been good at working the count all night. And he's done it again. 3-2 on the board. No outs. You certainly don't want to put another speed demon on first. You don't want to put the tying run on board. And is there anything going on down in the Pioneers bullpen? It doesn't appear so. So another attempt here from Rossi. He winds up, he throws, and ball 4.
Third walk of the night.
So he gets his third walk of the night. And coming out of the dugout is the pitching coach here. Going to have a conversation with his hurler. Actually, I do believe that's assistant manager Andrew Drum coming and speaking to his pitcher. As we see once again, there hasn't been anybody down in the bullpen as of yet. Still not seeing any movement down there. Drum seems contented to leave Rossi in there. Like I said to you before we started the inning, George, I feel like Rossi, when he has the control, he's certainly finding it, and he's popping the catcher's glove. Heck, we can hear it up here.
Again, he started out with a great strikeout to start his outing earlier in the sixth, but since then, walk, fielder's choice, walk, fly out, single walk.
Well, it wouldn't be a bad time to send a ground ball in for a double play. Of course, with the speed on the base pass, I'm not sure you could turn it.
No.
These runners so far, Rojas and Cooper both. Cooper came in to be a pinch runner because of his speed, and we saw it with that 1 foot lead from first base. Certainly made a difference. As once again, we're in the top of the 7th inning. A bunt attempt here will be squirted back to the pitcher, and that one's a sac bunt. So a good play there as the sac bunt gets an out, but you know what? It advances the runners, and that's exactly what you want to do. So Rojas advanced by the batter. Cooper advanced by the batter. Third, 1 out. Coming up is Scott. Excuse me, a pinch hitter for Scott now.
Well, Scott had struck out twice tonight, so that brings up number 4.
As he makes his way to the dish. This
unknown
batter. We're going to go ahead and say that it's Lori, just for argument's sake at this point, because that is the closest to 4 that we had on the roster sheet. So Lori will take the cuts as he comes up to bat. 1 out, runners on second and third. His team trailing by 1. He looks at a strike. So again,
someone's up.
Someone is up. A right-handed batter has come to the plate. And again, just the inaccurate roster. So we do apologize, fans. We thank you for listening in here on Mixler and on YouTube. Make sure to watch our games this year on YouTube, as this one is fouled off down the line. So 0-2 the count. Rossi getting what he needed done here, as coming up to the dish to retrieve was Rogers. You can bet Rogers is begging for a chance to come up to the plate now. The way he's been swinging tonight, you know he is eager and anxious. 0 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 3-2 ball game. You know Rossi is hoping for a strikeout here in the top of the 7th. As he sets. Looks in, gets a sign from the catcher. Delivers. And a check swing there. Great play by Henneman to keep that ball in front of him.
A little Troy Passingham move.
A little, not quite as big.
No, that's why I said little Troy Passingham.
Fitting. Maybe Nick Niedert move. Why don't we go there?
There you go.
All right. As once again, we see the attempt coming from Rossi. Throws and bounce towards second base. The shortstop picks it up, throws to first, and will get the out. The run will score to tie the game, and the runner from second will advance to third. So, ground out, Zer to Harmon. So they advanced. They score the run.
Thanks to an RBI from an unknown hitter. The mystery man.
The mystery man. There we go. As once again, coming up now is Rogers. Rogers will take his cuts. Strike 1 looking. So we've got a tie game now.
He's reached base all 3 times tonight. Twice via the walk.
As once again, waiting for the board to be adjusted. It still reads 3-2. The pitch, and just a bit inside. Thought that one had caught the inside corner, but umpire had a better look than I did. So once again, top of the 7th, 2 out. Pioneers trying to get out of this one. Playing the team that eliminated them from the postseason last year. Pitch is just a little bit high, as it's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. 3-3 ball game, top of the 7th. And once again, pitch will come from Rossi. He sets, he winds up, throws, and fouled off, as that will make it 2-2. We're wild, George.
We are.
Time to go to Tioga Downs. Check out their great action live concerts all summer long, including Smash Mouth.
Wow.
Can't wait for that. 2-2, 2 outs. Pitch from Rossi. And that one is popped to center field. On the run. Gets there with the catches, Buffington. And that will do it. We're through 6.5 full innings. And now we go to the 7th inning stretch. We'll be right back. You're listening to Mixler.com, your home for Pioneers action all season long. All right, and that was God Bless America, and a little longer version than I think most of us are used to.
We took the instrumental version.
We're looking for a little bit more of the Kate Smith version, perhaps.
No?
A little controversy, but, you know. You know what they say? Controversy creates cash. So, the song is the song, and we love to pay tribute to our amazing veterans and troops and everyone who has kept our freedom free. And a big thank you to every single one of those men and women in the armed forces for all that you have done. Want to remind you all, Marion Decker Insurance has been helping people in Elmira for over 34 years. Shouldn't you have an ace in the bullpen?
You should.
Call 607-734-1100 and protect yourself today.
The Phillies need one of those aces in the bullpen at this point. My goodness.
My Astros are doing okay.
We're doing fine. We just need a bullpen arm.
Yeah.
We just lost another
too.
one.
Could use a center of our infield back as well as the Pioneers get set for the bottom half of the seventh. A lot of game left. The bottom half of the seventh, the full eighth. We'll see how much of the ninth is needed. The Pioneers need to get something going. No runs since the bottom of the third inning, though they've had plenty of opportunities, George.
They have left a lot of guys in scoring position the last inning.
So now coming up to bat, Mason Ruhlman, our Feral Gas Friday star here, basically, for this week. Normally, we're going to try to squeeze a few more guys in for that, but this week was Mason Ruhlman. Thankful to him for coming out and having the conversation, as you can listen to it on our YouTube page. First pitch is a little bit high for a ball, as the Pioneers look to rebound. They've given up runs in 3 consecutive innings for the first time this season. Big hit. That one comes back up towards us, George, a foul strike one, and that makes me remember to make the right decisions.
And insist on Karuba collision and insist on staying awake.
We certainly should.
Stay awake on those bat balls.
Don't want to nap off in one of those. As another pitch is coming. And that one goes inside. Ruhlman will actually chase down the ball here. Mason certainly paying some respect to the catcher, getting that ball for him, as he's been a second baseman of note here. Has had quite a couple of years. Once again, Ruhlman coming up, awaits the pitch. It's dealt, and that's going to be a strike. So, called strike there, makes it 2-2. Nobody out. Ruhlman at the dish. He awaits the pitch. Wind up and deal. And just a little bit high. Ruhlman will see one more. 3-2. Bottom of the seventh. Nobody out. Ruhlman looking to get on base here and get this inning started right. He waits. Wind up pitch. And he connects. This one's going to get up and over the third baseman's head. And Ruhlman will start it off with a bang. He gets in there on I guess you'd call it a line drive single, as that one went into left field. And now that means coming up to bat will be Davis Zur.
That's the first leadoff hitter to get on today for the Pios.
So a heck of a couple of plays here, as now Zur coming up to the dish. Nobody out, a runner on first. At the obvious, you got to move the runner along, I would think would be the first priority of the Elmira Pioneers. We'll see, as that one goes outside and off of the catcher's glove there. It has to be a little bit concerning to see the ball keep wandering away from the catcher. So Davis Zur have to be sharp with his eyes here. We'll see as he awaits the pitch. Coming in once again. There's the pitch and a swinging strike from Zur, as Barsamian has really showed some excellent plate control there, really being able to maneuver himself around up there. 1-1, nobody out. Runner on first base. That one's just outside, thrown down to first, and kept the runner on. 2-1 the count, and down on first, Ruhlman has to be starting to think about getting a second.
Somehow.
Very deliberate pitching by Barsamian. maybe take advantage of that. As once again, that one's going to be a called strike as Zur was watching for something else. Zur has had a heck of a little run here. Back before he came to Siena College, he participated in the Connie Mack World Series, as that one's going to be a ball.
You like my notes?
I do.
Yeah.
I did remember reading that as well when I was writing his bio, but yeah, that's a good one. Connie Mack World Series down in New Mexico.
Exactly.
Good spot. New Mexico, nice place, nice time of year, but during the winter months. As the runner goes, and that's ball 4 anyway, so the full count doesn't pay off. And now we've got runners on first and second, and the Pioneers are threatening again. Now the question's going to be, what can they do with it?
There's no one throwing in the pen yet.
So Granger will come up, and the Pioneers are feeling the pressure now. Tie ball game. And again, they mentioned about chuck a ball. Another experience you haven't had yet, George.
I've seen chuck a puck.
Chuck a ball is trying to get the ball near home plate. So similar concept. The netting may provide some difficulties with that. However,
You gotta get it over the glass, get it over the netting too.
netting's a little more difficult. There's the first pitch. Swinging strike there from Granger. As he's determined to get something started here. Pioneers with the first 2 runners on. And this has been a quite a start to an inning. But as we continue to talk about here in the later innings of this one, there has to be some finish to it as Granger takes ball number 1. Granger coming back into the box. Awaits the 1-1 pitch. He waits. The pitch comes and strike 2. Looking at that one. So, not quite the fastest runners on first and second, George.
I would say not.
What would be the play here from the...
A line drive into the gap would help.
That would definitely help, as there's connection and up onto the roof. When we remind you to make the right decision.
And insist on Karuba collision.
For sure. As now, once again, the Pioneers at the dish, 1 and 2. We just reached the 10 o'clock hour. We're into the bottom of the 7th inning. And an attempted stolen base. Wide ball and thrown. And the runner does advance to second and third. As the umpire says safe. So a stolen base from second to third. And then
Defensive indifference?
I would call it defensive indifference. Yeah, that would seem accurate to me. But, yeah. So, defensive indifference there as Zur gets to second. There's another pitch, and this is going to be foul. Up and into the batter's practice area over there, the batting cage, if you will. Not quite a cage. It's just really more...
Sorry about that. I couldn't see anymore.
You're fine.
Had to turn
As the lights go on up here. Make it a little buggy up here for sure.
I'll turn off.
No, it's fine. As a swinging strike. And now Granger running down. The catcher throws to first. And these... As Zur and Ruhlman will both stay at second and third. And that'll bring up Garrett Schultz. As now, once again, we get set for a 1-out batter. Runners on second and third. In the past, this has led to bases loaded with
But no results.
But no results for the Pioneers. And now, with the entire infield encroached on that infield grass, little interesting situation here. If you can just get a pop to the outside of the infield,
something
could get not only 2 runs in, but put yourself in scoring position yet again. As we've got a ball and a watch strike. So a 1-1 count. Schultz, 1-1-1. We're going back to Tioga Downs. As another pitch. That one's popped up into foul territory. And way into foul territory. Into Again, the batting cage, if you will, as once again, the Pioneers desperately looking for a way to drive in a run. They have Ruhlman, they have Zur, both in scoring position. Only one man out. Looking, begging for. There's the 2-2. So do something with runners in scoring position. Quinn Buffington has not been doing very well himself.
He is not 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. We are on Golden Sombrero watch.
1 strikeout away from a Golden Sombrero and 1 hit away from being a hero as he puts that one into the gap. He's there, he's safe. He beats out the play and scores the go-ahead run. He wasted no time on that. Ground ball towards third. Buffington gets his first hit of the season. Fielder's choice as Zur advances to third. And Ruhlman advances to home. And that will score the run and leave a runner on third as well. And here we go again. Brennan Dorigi, a chance to do some more damage. Give the Pioneers back a 2-run lead. Dorigi gets in position. He awaits the pitch. 2 outs in the inning. That's a called strike. So we're back into a situation where the Pioneers are now 6 defensive outs away from a victory. However, in the last 3 innings, they have allowed a run in each of the top halves. Not exactly the late game pitching that you want to see.
A little late game heroics from Buffington.
Buffington with some huge late game heroics, as you just said, George. Once again, another called strike there. So we've got 1 and 2. 2 outs. Pioneers looking to do a little more damage before they go back to the field. This is Dorigi. Dorigi hits one foul. And we remind you again to make the right decision.
Insist on Karuba collision.
Because that one certainly sounded like it hit something. I don't think it was the roof. As Dorigi trying to kick out the batter's box a little there. One of the few left-handed batters we've had here tonight.
Yeah.
Not a ton of them. Elmira Pioneers lead 4-3. And we will be right back. You're listening to the Pioneers on Mixlr.com. Your home for Pioneers action all season long. Back to the plate.
Throwing a lot of pitches. I don't have a count, but I just assume a lot of pitches.
Well, a couple of walks, a couple of hits, and so 2 runs given up, and 1 in each inning he's pitched. It's interesting to see exactly how much of a leash tonight's head coach Andrew Drum is going to give, but it's I'll tell you what. You have 1 good inning, you're going to feel a lot better going into the dugout. So another throw from Rossi. That one just a little bit inside, according to the umpire. As Kaufman coming up, he's looking for a chance to help his team get that 1-run continuous inning going again, as that one's got to be popped out and back into the parking lot.
Hit the roof.
Hits the roof and rolls off, so make the right decision.
And head to, or insist on Karuba collision.
As once again, the Pioneers will go back to work. Here's the pitch from Rossi. Winds up and releases, and a little bit high. 2-2. No outs. So far, so good for the Pioneers. A 4-3 lead. Looking to make that magic number 3 defensive outs. As a big pop-up here. This is going to come foul for sure. The catcher is underneath it and grabs it A pop out of foul territory. And wow, that was a heck of a play there. So, fly out foul. Henneman makes the grab. And we've got Gao coming up to the dish right now, as he will come up and try to set things right.
He's filled the box. Couple fielder's choices, an RBI, and a strikeout.
Well, no fielder's choice to be had here, as nobody on in front of him. Big pitch there from Rossi is a ball.
It's gotten cooler in the ballpark.
Definitely has cooled down a little bit. The overhead lights are the primary source of light around the ballpark at this point.
Primary source of heat as well.
As there's another one thrown for a strike this time, called on the outside corner. 1-1-1. We're getting lucky. Once again, heading down to Tioga Downs. As another pitch from Rossi. And strike. They're going to call that one a strike. They say he went. So 1-2 the count. Gao can't believe it. He didn't think he moved. As 1-2. One out. We'll see what comes next. As Rossi throws again, and that's strike three looking. What a pitch by Rossi. The Pioneers have now closed it down. They need 4 defensive outs. As we look again, fingers are crossed up here in the booth. Coming up to the dish, Cross Grundy. Grundy stepping in. And we'll see, as I said, one strong inning gives you a boost of confidence. As pop-up, going back behind second base. There for it, and making the catch is Ruhlman. So, that was the quickest half inning I think we've seen here tonight, George.
Long time.
So,
Was that 5 or 6 pitches? Pretty good.
That was an efficient inning, to say the least. As now we'll head to the bottom of the 8th. And that means Cam Redding, Henneman, Harmon, the heart of the order. As once again, we will look down for the intermission activities to see what's going on.
We don't know what's going on.
Not much. Can't say. Free something. I heard free.
Everyone heard free. They're
I'm
all
about
cheering.
free.
Everyone loves free.
So, third out was achieved. The Pioneers have a 4-3 lead. And they're hoping to add to it and move ahead, as now there is a new pitcher on the mound.
One of those lefties. Number 26.
Appears to be
Not Chase Utley.
Tim Geisel.
Yep. We got that one right this time.
So we did have that one, as Geisel takes his spot on the mound. Tim Geisel comes in to try to shut down the Pioneers in their first game at home at beautiful historic Dunn Field. And George, as we've gotten through 7.5, pretty impressive place to watch a game.
It is.
I'll tell you what, there's something special about those historic ballparks. You go up to Doubleday Field, you go up to the Cooperstown and see the atmosphere there. It's just a different style of ball. If you haven't been down to Dunn Field, you got to get here this season.
Again, my first time here at Dunn Field. I walked past Doubleday Field, not been in Doubleday Field.
You haven't been?
I've been to Cooper. I went to Cooperstown this summer for the first time. I didn't go into the field, but I went to the museum. I took 2 laps through the museum.
You know what New Yorkers call that?
What's that?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
You got to go when there's none of that Hall of Fame stuff going on. Otherwise, you can't see anything. Of course, if Bagwell or Biggio are going in, I was there. But now the Pioneers getting set. Cam Redding going to lead it off. He'll be the first one to welcome in Geisel into the game. Tim Geisel setting up shop on the mound. Even from as high up as we are, he is a huge presence out there.
Very tall. Very, very tall.
6'4", according to the roster sheet. I don't know about that.
They've been wrong about a lot of stuff
I
tonight. That might
I
be
gotta
another
tell
one.
you, I'm on top of the stadium, and I'm telling you he's tall, and that's
From Abilene Christian. Oh, no, that's Mark Geisel. It could be wrong about that, too.
Geisel, according to the roster sheet, SJFC, Scotch Plains, New Jersey,
Okay.
as we have a ball on his first pitch to Cam Redding. So we'll see what Redding can do with him. As here's the pitch. Way outside there, ball number 2, and you hear the woos begin here.
Where are we? First arena?
As the catcher goes out to have a conversation. Geisel, during his warm-up pitches, seemed to be doing well, but has had some trouble finding the zone in his first 2 pitches in game. As Redding looking to straighten out his swing. He's had a couple of opportunities today, but still trying to. As we hear some more excitement down below us with the wooing.
Yep.
And we appreciate the woos. As 2-0, Cam Redding getting set to do his thing. As the windup and the pitch. And say that one caught the outside corner.
It's a long windup, too.
It's a very long windup. There's a lot of motion going on there. It's almost Japanese style.
I about to say it's not lincecum, but it's a lot.
If you watch, there's another one, and off the outside corner, almost in the exact same spot, but doesn't get that one. As you watch, it's a rock back, forward, back again, and then
A long reach.
very. If you got it, use it, I guess, but a lot of windup here. There's the delivery, and a huge swing there from Redding. Tell you what, he he earned anything he got off of that one for sure. As we look down, one more opportunity here. 3-2 the count, full count for the Pioneers. Cam Redding awaits the pitch. And it comes, and low ball 4. Cam Redding will take a walk to first base. He'll get complimented on his eye. And coming to bat now, Henneman. Henneman will move into his familiar stance and will stare down the pitcher, Geisel.
8 walks tonight for the Pioneers.
And that's a heck of a
lot of walking.
number. 8 times 90. What are you talking there?
Yeah, a lot.
At least quite a few steps, that's for sure. Ball 1 there on the first pitch to Henneman.
We're all getting leg workouts tonight.
For sure. Geisel is trying to find his sweet spot there on the mound. Seemed to be finding it rather easily during those warm-up pitches. Just hasn't been able to hit it yet again.
There we go.
There's a strike on the outside corner. A little less controversial than the last one. As now we'll see if he's found that or what he's going to throw here. As you got to imagine, there's a pop-up, and that one's going way back and off the roof. As we insist once again that you make the right decision.
And insist again on Karuba
collision. As once again, Geisel coming back. Pitching out of the stretch here. No, he's not. He chose not to. It looked like he was going to pitch out of the stretch, but instead returns. Well, he is pitching out of the stretch, excuse me. And that's a hit down the third base line, and this is going to go for a single. As no throw came from third, and a ground ball single towards the third base side. Henneman gets to first. Redding goes to second. And upcoming, Trey Harmon. Harmon and his pre-hitter, Henneman, just swapped something there. Not sure what that was, but perhaps somebody's using the other's bat. I'm not really sure. I missed what was handed off there, but certainly, hey, if you can keep the ball rolling, that's exactly what you want to do.
It's 6'4", 225. Is Trey
Any
Harmon.
wonder that he was a football star as well? As once again, Harmon lines it up, waiting for the pitch. The deal, and off the plate. That one was in the opposite batter's box. Good thing he's not a left-hander. As it's continues to roll on here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2-0 as that one goes wide.
Past my bedtime.
As once again, the Pioneers will have fireworks after the show tonight, so make sure you hang around if you're listening somewhere in the ballpark. Will be quite the show. As once again, Harmon lines up, waits. There's the hit. Goes up into short center, and that's going to drop in. And this should load the bases, and it will on a pop fly ball that nobody called.
Dropped into no man's land. A nice little bloop single.
That's
off the glove of a shortstop.
A heck of a play there to play the right way if you're the base runners. Halfway lead, make sure you're not going to make a bad out, and make sure you can advance. It's a smart play by all of the base runners. So with no outs, the base is loaded. You have to assume a run's going to cross here. Must break that bases loaded streak.
One would hope.
Ruhlman comes up, and you know he would love to put a bow on this game. After we already talked about it on Feral Gas Friday, he was the last out last year. So to make this this exclamation point would be huge for him as he takes a strike. Called strike there in the bottom of the 8th. Nobody out. 3 runners on. The infield playing right on the grass all around the diamond as Ruhlman takes the ball. 1-1.
The woos still going.
So Pioneers fans are certainly excited here in game number 1. Once again, Ruhlman gets set. Another delivery. That one just a little bit high. 2-1. Getting dangerous out here. As once again, Mason Ruhlman will be looking to drive in a run. He will certainly take walking in a run as he pops that one up. This one's going to get out towards the outfield and dropped. He dropped it, and they're going to throw out the runner at third, not the runner at home. So Ruhlman gets in a run, an RBI for Mason Ruhlman. You have to assume that's got to be an error on the shortstop. So
it was something.
It's Ruhlman gets to first.
I get it. It blew to almost the exact same spot out there in no man's land, and the shortstop again got the glove on it, but that time dropped it. Lucky enough to get me out at third.
Well, we got Harmon at second. We've got Henneman out. And he was...
And Redding scored, and Ruhlman's on first.
Unbelievable.
Who's on second? I don't know who's on third.
That is accurate. So Redding goes home and scores, and we get our first strike here against Zur. So, after all that's sorted out, it's a 5-3 lead for the Elmira Pioneers.
Yeah,
1 out, 1 strike, and another ground ball as they're going to get the runner at first. So the ground ball advances the runners. So it's a ground out. Shortstop to first. Ruhlman got to second. And Harmon got to third. Granger now comes up with an open base, 2 outs, and an opportunity knocking at the door.
He flew out on that 8-5 double play earlier to end the 5th inning.
And now we'll be looking for an opportunity to put a little more oomph in the Pioneers' ninth as he fouls one off. Make the right decision.
Insist on Karuba collision.
As now 1 strike, 2 outs. Pioneers still threatening. 2 runners on. 3 defensive outs away from their first win at home their first win at all in 2019. Another swinging strike. That one fouled off again. So we've got 2 foul balls and an opportunity for the Red Wings to get out of the inning.
And twice insisting on Karuba collision.
For sure. I want to thank all of our amazing sponsors who make it possible for us to broadcast every single game of the 2019 Elmira Pioneer season. Another pitch. That one's in the dirt. 1-2 as the Pioneers continue trying to push and the crowd wooing them on. Normally you would say rooting them on, but wooing.
Literally wooing.
Rick flaring it up in the stands, if you will.
Yes.
As once again the pitcher sets, delivers, and ball 2. Hey, guess what, George? 2-2-2. Time to go to Tioga Downs, rolling straight 2s. Looking for that lucky lady.
There you go.
As once again the pitcher will set. Staring down the batter, throws, and that one gets away from the catcher. Guessing it was foul tipped.
Yep.
So we have 2-2-2 one more time. And the umpire will receive some balls from the ball boy. As once again, we'll take this opportunity to remind you we are back in action tomorrow night, 7:05 yet again, as the Pioneers will be looking at their second game of the season. And what a game it should be as the PG CBL season kicks into full gear as the Elmira Pioneers trying to get their season off on the right foot here tonight. They continue to try to push as once again they have a 2-run lead right now, and we'll see if they can extend that. Here comes the pitch. The pitch and fouled off yet again. Reminding you one more time to make the right decision.
And insist on Karuba collision.
As one more time, we'll see the same setup and pitch. Tomorrow, we want to remind everybody, Oneonta comes to town. That should be a blast here at Dunn Field. Pretty close rival there. That one's outside, 3-2. Full count, 2 out, 2 on. And the Pioneers wanting one more run.
At least one more.
That insurance run sure looms big when you look at the 3 spot that was put up on the board. And there's a walk. Bases are now loaded. Granger worked it. Schultz comes up. The right fielder makes his way to the batter's box with the bases loaded. We've got quite an
out-of-town scoreboard. That one's gone final. Watertown
13
to 8
against the Adirondack Trailblazers. Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs 9. The Newark Pilots 1.
That's a final.
The Albany Dutchmen 9. The Socrates Stallions 5. And now the pitch coming here. Wind up and the pitch. That's a little high for ball 1.
Amsterdam final 9-3 over Glen Falls.
And
a lot of high scoring.
It's been a crazy day so far. And the Pioneers still leading 5-3 at the moment. The other game thus far, Oneonta and Utica, has not shown up quite yet. So
it's listed as scheduled, but
we'll have to see. It was supposed to start the same time we were. But the day rolls on as Oneonta will most assuredly be here tomorrow. Another foul ball. We remind you to make the right decision.
And insist on Karuba collision. Yeah, a lot of these guys, again, debate. It sounds like wooden bats. A lot of these college guys usually have metal bats.
And this is a wood bat league, so very much like the pros.
Yeah.
As I assure you, there's some fireworks setting up going on out beyond the outfield wall. The fireworks show is always spectacular here at Dunn Field. Another ball thrown. 2-2-2 Bases are loaded, and we are headed for another Tioga Downs showdown. That's a thing now.
Yep.
I'm saying it. It's a
Okay.
thing. We're going for it. Tioga Downs showdown at 2-2-2. There's the pitch and a swing, and that will do it for inning number 8. So 8 innings are in the books. The Elmira Pioneers have 5 runs. The Geneva Red Wings have 3 runs, and we are headed for the top of the 9th.
Woo!
A lot coming on here as we look out towards the pitcher's mound, and I believe I still see Rossi coming back out here. Rossi is out there.
He's getting stretched out tonight.
I'm seeing a pitcher down there stretching near the bullpen. Not sure who exactly that may be, but this is a interesting scenario. If the Pioneers, no, he's running back towards the dugout now. I think Rossi's got the ball.
He got a 2-run lead to work with. Not bad.
Not bad. I don't think
The last inning, he went 1-2-3.
he
With a
will definitely
strikeout.
come away with the W if they get it here tonight. He needs to get through these 3 batters, though, and not a bad place to have to do it. 8, 9, and 1.
No.
So if you're the Pioneers, again, not a bad place to be. Bottom of the order. As here it comes. Hojanaki heads for the batter's box.
0 for 3 tonight with a strikeout. 2 flyouts to right.
As Hojanaki makes his way to the plate. We'll see. Here it comes. As Rossi ready to go. The umpire signaling that we are in the 9th inning. So 24, or excuse me, they're going to have a substitution at bat. Forgive me. Umpire signaling a new batter at the dish. And
Who once again is unknown to those in the booth.
it certainly is.
Wolf was
We're gonna
already
say
in the
it's
game.
Masser.
Okay.
As he will hit a pop-up, and
Foul.
that'll be a foul ball. So, foul ball. Make the right decision.
Had a Karuba collision.
There you go.
I mean, he's replacing a catcher. You don't want to assume it's a catcher who's just entered the game, but
You would assume, but it is the bottom, or the top of the 9th, so
you need your best hitters.
you need your best hitter. So we're gonna call it as we see it here. And the windup and the pitch from Rossi fires, and that's a strike. Watched strike. So 1 and 2 the count.
It is a final in Socrates, 9-5 in favor of the Dutchman.
So Albany claims their first victory of the season, and that's a big foul ball out into the parking lot. 1 and 2, make the right decision.
Insist on Karuba collision.
We're saying that a lot tonight. Drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
As once again, 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Pioneers with a lead, top of the 9th, as that makes it 2 and 2. So we've got a 2-2 game.
And the fans have stayed out. Which is
Good to see.
It's fireworks night, like we said.
Should be exciting as the pitch comes off the side of the plate. And you have to assume Rossi's arm has got to be feeling it a little bit here, as he's really had to put himself through a lot. He's come in the 6th inning, and now he's pitched just about as much as Rubino had to start the game.
Yes, he has.
Rossi has that one fouled off yet again. So we remain 2 and 2.
3 and 2. Is it? No? Board says 3 and 2.
The board does say 3 and 2.
I have 3 and 2. You have 3 and 2.
I have 3 and 2. We all have 3 and 2. So we're good. We're 3
Yep.
and 2.
Yep.
So 3 and 2 goes the count. As once again, Rossi winds up the pitch. And ball 4. Not the way that Rossi wanted to start that one.
Nope.
As I believe, we'll see.
Number
Cooper
6.
did stay in the game, and he will now make his first appearance at the dish.
Singled, stole a base, and scored.
Well, he did not single. He was not in the game. He replaced. He was
yeah,
a pinch
that's right.
runner. There
he
you go.
replaced Wolf. There we
He
go.
did. My question with his speed, do you lay down the bunt, move the runner on, and get to...
The infield's playing back all the way around. We're in double play depth. Their baseman's starting to step in.
They are down by 2, but he will do exactly that. Lays down the sac bunt, pitcher to first, and that will get the sacrifice. So I called that a little bit as, once again, pitcher to first.
And now Rojas, who again is walked 3 times and has singled. 1 for 1, 3 walks.
Now, with 1 out, I don't think you'll see the same similar play.
Nope.
However, that being said, nothing is completely out of the question in a situation like this. We'll see. As Rojas steps up to the plate. Chokes up on the bat, looks down. Rossi checks the runner on second. Moves into his windup and throws. And that is high. And going back towards the track, caught and pulled in there by the left fielder, Granger. And that was a huge catch for Granger.
It looked really good off the bat, but just kind of died out there in the middle of left field.
So, 2 outs on the board. Coming up, this is going to be Fisher. So Fisher's got a runner on second. 5-3 the score. 2 outs.
0 for 2 with a sack tonight.
A chance to finish off the first victory of the season. Thrown high for ball 1. Rossi came in the 6th inning. He is on cue for the win here. The game was tied under his his doing, and then the game was put back in the lead under his doing. So Rossi would be credited with his first win of the season. There's another pitch inside. 2-0. Just need 1 more out, and the Pioneers can claim their first victory. As once again, Rossi checks the runner at second. Continues to check the runner at second. Moves into his windup. Throws it past the catcher. And that is going to move the unknown runner to third base.
Another mystery man.
So, the runner is on third. The pitcher has been focused on him possibly too much. But he's got a 3-0 count against the man at home. The question here is, how do you end up pitching to Fisher? You got to put something over the plate here, trying to get that final out. There's the pitch, and that'll be strike 1. So now, 3-1 count, 2 outs. Can dance it a little bit. Don't want to walk the batter. Don't want to bring up that 3-4-5 spot for sure. Here's the pitch. And that is a walk. Ball 4. And that will bring up
number 4.
The
unknown number 4, I believe.
Let's see.
That's who it was. And that's who it is.
It is. Will be number 4. Our next unknown batter, who we have in right now as Lori.
Not Gloria. That is the
St. Louis Blues song. As we have an 0-2 on the scoreboard.
He's got an RBI, though, tonight.
He
Mr.
does.
Unknown.
And 2. There's a called strike. 2 runners on. 0-1 the count. Hold on.
Yep.
Waiting for something here. Oh,
nope, there's 2 guys warming up in the Geneva bullpen.
As Geneva's hoping to force a bottom of the 9th. Another pitch from Rossi. That's outside for a ball. 1-1 count. We'll see what Rossi can do here. The count is 1-1. 2 outs. 2 men on. 2-run deficit. 1s and 2s are all over the place. As we look again, Rossi winds up pitches and ball 2. 2-1. So, Rossi is ready. He sets. Hearing some drumming music going on.
I did see a drum when I entered. Someone had a drum.
I believe that famous band Purple Lightning may be in the house.
Oh.
Another opportunity here. There's the pitch. It's grounded towards third. That is a foul ball. So, that puts us back into 2-2-2 territory with a 2-run lead, 2 men on, and we are headed for the Tioga Downs showdown. 2-2, 2 outs, 2 on, 2-run lead. And here we are. Being
Yes, we
checked
are.
on in the booth.
We're still here. It's been
We
a couple
are-
hours, but we are still here.
We are definitely still here.
Approaching 4 hours.
Here we go. What could be the most decisive pitch of this ball game?
To number 4.
To number 4, the unknown. Number 4. Here comes the windup. The pitch. And popped up. This could do it. And caught by the second baseman, Ruhlman. Mason Ruhlman made the last out a year ago. Makes the last out tonight. But tonight, it was to help the Pioneers secure their first victory of 2019. Woo!
There we go.
The win will belong to the amazing pitching of Rossi. He played a phenomenal game after struggling a little bit with his control. He came out and really just made an impact here as Ruhlman makes the final out. And now that does it. That is an official game, folks.
Yeah,
as
it is.
The Pioneers get their first victory of the season, and here's Purple Lightning making their way through. Here they come on to the field, and your Elmira Pioneers have claimed victory for the first time in 2019, 1-0 on the young season. George, we saw a lot there from the Elmira Pioneers. If you could sum it up, help me out here. This has been a crazy game.
We hit some 2-out hitting. I meant would help him early on. Could start from Rupine earlier to start the game, or Rubino to start the game. Again, Rossi held in there late and did a good job, and it's a great way to start the season for the Elmira Pioneers.
Comes back, gets the win. You guys are enjoying some of the structure of the Purple Lightning, which is going to get even more interesting in just a few seconds. I guarantee you that. For those of you who haven't seen the amazing band play before, getting a quick taste of Purple Lightning. Seeing some glowing down there. And George, we had the opportunity to witness Purple Lightning back at the first arena.
We did.
Back during the Enforcer season, as you may recall.
I believe they showed up once or twice.
They did show up and played on the ice too, so that's quite impressive, if I do say so myself. However, we are going into wrap it up mode, folks, here, as your Elmira Pioneers have done the deed, gotten the victory 5-3. It's fireworks night here at at historic Dunn Field. We hope you all have enjoyed the first broadcast of the season, and we look forward to speaking with you guys again tomorrow night at 7:05 as Oneonta comes to town. Should be a blast. George, I hope you'll certainly join me back up here in the booth.
God willing, I will.
And that would be fantastic. For all of you listening on Mixler.com, we want to thank you for staying with us from hockey to baseball. And now for our first ever Pioneers win. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, to all of you on YouTube, we'll be with you all season long. Thank you so much. Have a great night. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night, YouTube. And good night,